Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, from the sidelines, episode number 138. We are back and ready to go. Another Tuesday night, another Tuesday evening. We're loaded up in the call as always. I got my co-host, Brando Baird. We'll start with him tonight. How you doing, buddy? You're here in the call with us.
We're here. We're chilling. Happy to be back.
It's the hangover week after an event.
It kind of is. It's not even like, yeah. I mean, we didn't even play this weekend. We just kind of stood around. But even then, it's still a little tiring. My knees hurt. God damn, I'm getting old. Fuck. Didn't even fucking play, and I'm old.
Getting shin splints, standing up all day. That stuff's never fun.
No, and I hate shin splints. It honestly hasn't. It's only been this past year since I've been getting this goddamn shin splint. So I know I'm getting old. I gotta start warming up.
We're getting old, brother. Well, make sure you stretch for reffing, as I know our other co-host always does, because he goes 125% during reffing, not just 110%. Stephen Hatch, did you blow out your MCL when you were out there reffing this weekend?
No, I didn't.
That's good.
I did have a big responsibility step up. Big promotion that I will talk about later when we get into the whole paintball section. But it's good to be back. Another episode. I feel like we're in somewhere 130 something, but
138. I said it at the beginning of the show. Come on, pay attention.
I'm sorry, my bad. They all just
you do have a
together.
headache tonight. You have a little bit of a pass tonight. I know you're dealing with some mental pain.
It's okay. There's no excuse.
No, take a fucking excuse, brother. It's okay.
Gotta hydrate.
Yes, no, make sure you hydrate before you dehydrate out there. Ladies and gentlemen, let's keep this show moving forward. We got to talk about our sponsors before we can get any further on into the show. We got Liquid IV. They're here every week for us. They're the great hydration multiplier and something that Hatch may want to throw in his water tonight. I know he's got a couple on hand. Liquid IV, head over there. Promo code Mafia_Mafia at checkout. It's going to get you 20% off and free shipping at their website. They've got the energy booster, the sleep multiplier, the immune support, the regular sugar version, and then the sugar-free formula as well. So they've got a ton of options over there. There's going to be something up your alley waiting for you. Head over to liquidiv.com. Use that promo code Mafia_Mafia. And grab yourself some for next time you're going out, either to the field, maybe you drank too much one night, you got to put some hydration back in. It will do it whenever you need it. Liquid IV, we appreciate them. One last time, liquidiv.com. Promo code Mafia_Mafia. Next up, NECTR Energy, NECTR.energy. I had the can upside down. There we go. There's the branding. Find the camera. There we go. NECTR.energy. I threw it in before the show because I was falling behind myself a little bit. It's been a long day, but I threw in the awesome little energy pouch. It's got some caffeine in there, neurotropic, no nicotine, no tobacco, so it's gonna get me pepped up, kind of ready to go for the rest of this couple-hour podcast that we got tonight. And we appreciate their support here on the podcast. Promo code MafiaProductions over on their website. That's how you're gonna get a buy two get one free. So you'll get a can for free. You can try out a couple different flavors, see which one is your favorite, and then you can order some more from there. We appreciate their support and everything that they're doing for not just us but other paintball industry people. It's great to see new companies come into the sport and try to get their name out there and help support the creatives in our sport. We love that. Let's keep moving forward. Another company from paintball itself. We love these guys. weltsclothing.com. Some great people in the sport who are also making some awesome apparel, both limited edition and not. First Wednesday of every month, they drop their Welts Wednesday product of the month, which could be a strap, could be some shirts, undershirts, could be a jersey. You never know what it's going to be, and it's always going to be a limited edition item available on the first Wednesday of every month. They also have regular options that are available from their store all year around, so go head over there, weltsclothing.com, check it out, promo code FTS at checkout. You're going to save yourself a little bit of money and save on shipping. So, boys, let's jump on into the podcast. We got a fair amount to talk tonight. Real quick, let's get it out of the way early because it's the big thing everyone's talking about on Twitter. Guys, Tracy Morgan fucking threw up at a basketball game last night. What the fuck happened there?
How dare he?
Hey, let me just say, been there, done that. Maybe not on the back side, like court side.
At a Knicks game? At Madison Square Garden? You threw it up?
No, but definitely sometimes you get a little bit too unrational. You go a little too hard in public. You know what I'm saying?
You get a little too hard AF when you shouldn't be.
Yes, for sure. Pre-game a little too hard, you show up and you're like, damn, should not have gone that hard.
Pre-game? Don't you mean at the function? You were at the field already, Hash.
Oh, valid. For that scenario, yes.
That's how much he doesn't remember.
For that scenario, yes.
Hatch time traveled that day. He was at the field with me and Lastro having one hard AF, and then all of a sudden he was in the Airbnb with you guys.
No, I remember feeling like a pirate opening up that ice chest full of treasure of hard AFs, and then
not pina colada, bro.
And then after 2 or 3 blueberries, I was seeing stars, but. Yeah, felt great, but Tracy Morgan.
It's just alcohol, by the way. There's no psychoactives in there. That's literally just, this man does not drink very often. But yes, Tracy
rarely.
Morgan also apparently does not drink very often because that seems the most reasonable thing to me. He posted like an Instagram story saying, he was like in a hospital. So apparently he went to the hospital, but like said they had food poisoning or something. I don't really believe that story. I feel like our man decided to have a bender and drank a little too much. And you know what? You're right to do that, Tracy Morgan. You got ran over by a fucking Walmart truck. All right, dog? You can do whatever you want in your life. You don't know that story?
No.
I do know hearing about it, but I don't know.
Do you guys know who Tracy Morgan is? Like, he's actor back in the day, was on 30 Rock and a lot of
Of
shows.
course I know who Tracy Morgan is.
There you go. All right. So after that, all that was happening in his like kind of heyday of his comedy and acting careers, this man got hit by a Walmart semi-truck. I am not fucking joking. It fucked him up. He had to have a lot of reconstructive surgeries. He had to learn how to walk again. It was a very serious injury. I think he sued Walmart for something like $50 to $60 million because of all the lost revenue and stuff that he had during that time of being injured. So they had to pay him all that, and now the man kind of just does whatever the fuck he wants in his life because Walmart paid him his money. So
like throwing up on the side of a
baseball game. Fucking Knicks game. Yep.
Side quest complete.
Okay, all right. You know what?
It's like an RPG where you can choose different paths, and he just chose the one where you drink so much going into the game that you throw up and you're embarrassed and like your social status goes down.
You just can't keep choosing drink, and it's like the next turn it's like drink or go home.
Your character the whole time is like, man, I don't know if I should be drinking more. Like as you're getting more drunk, it's like
and me sober as hell behind my mouse and keyboard. I'm like, drink, motherfucker.
Drink. Except that was Tracy Morgan in real life, not in a video game. So yeah, that was a great sight. There's an amazing shot of it that went pretty viral on Twitter pretty quickly. Whoever took that shot, shout out to you, man. So
I gotta look for this because I only saw one little. I saw one little video, but it was from the backside.
So the video is when they're like taking him out and stuff. Like he was getting a bloody nose or something too. Something went wrong with this man. But there is a photo from the front as he's actively projectile vomiting, and the reason I know that is because it's the thumbnail on Drinking Bros today because I had to make that thumbnail, and it's not fun. I had to look at that and blur it out. So you guys are welcome out there. The things thumbnail editors do for you.
All right.
It wasn't even that bad.
You see it now, Brandon? Oh my god, the instant reaction.
Oh, fuck. Oh my god, that's a lot.
See what I mean? Having to blur that out. It's not fun having that expanded on your monitor.
Yeah.
I don't drink very much, so whenever I do drink, I go so fucking hard I do throw up like that. It's actually horrible, but
we know.
So that's kind of normal for me. That's normal for me.
You're the Woody level of drinking where it's like I can't drink without spending time on the cool tile floor of the bathroom.
I would be the worst alcoholic, bro. No joke. So, but
the moment alcohol touches your lips, you want to go lay on something cold.
I mean, you say you'd be a bad alcoholic. That's just something that takes time to get over. Like with alcoholism, you will get over your fear. You're throwing up. It's your body will control the substance.
Are you afraid of throwing up?
Am I afraid of throwing up? No.
Yeah.
I don't understand those people in any way, shape, or form. If I have to throw up, I am getting it out of my body. Now, preferably not courtside at a Knicks game, but I am trying to get it the fuck out because I feel so much better after.
Yeah, it depends on how bad I feel. I don't like throwing up, but I know once I throw up, I'm gonna feel better.
For sure.
Yeah, that's my main take.
If I'm being honest, I throw up at practice more than I would like to admit. If I'm being honest,
you just go hard. That's why,
true.
though.
Yeah, I do go
And
that
it's
hard.
not even that you're out of shit. Well, it's like, look at who is it? Kyle Bowen, who is notorious for throwing up on the pro field, like done it so many times. The uprising
Graham
player.
Arnold is
Graham
also
Arnold,
Arnold.
that's who it is.
Yeah.
And like, dude, that man's in shape. Like he's not a slacker. He can play a lot of points of paintball. It's just sometimes you go so hard, your body's like, yeah, we got to get rid of everything.
Exactly. Like you're playing every single point. Not only are you're breathing from running around so much, dude, the communicating, right? I know Brando came off one time. He told me about it. He's like, dude, I was yelling so much. I was lightheaded.
Dude,
Yeah.
I got lightheaded. I'm like, oh,
That's
I
what
gotta
does
hold
it.
this lane.
It's because all
Right.
that oxygen you should be using to like resupply your muscles is going straight back out, or right out of your lungs.
100%. It's important information.
Speaking of throwing up on the paintball field, did you guys see the clip from Tampa where Go Sports decided, hey, let's just follow this guy puking off the field?
No.
I forget
not
who
see
it
that.
was.
What?
I don't even remember what team it was. It was one of the pro teams. This man literally like wins a one-on-one, is throwing up as he's going to the box, like obviously just gave this point his all, hits the buzzer, and as he's walking, kind of fast walking to the pits to get his mask off, he's throwing up through the front of his through not lens, but like through his grill. And dude, the whole time Go Sports just follows this poor man as he's just throwing up multiple times for thousands of people watching at home, to the point where Mike Jeffries, shout out, he was like, yeah guys, maybe we stop with the throw up cam, like maybe this has been going on, like we can give him a little space.
Dude, that's rough. I'm gonna have to look for that. Yeah.
It definitely happened. I watched every second of Go Sports coverage. I know for sure.
Really quick, you mentioned Mike Jeffrey. I know. I heard some things about people not liking his commentary. Yeah, I think a lot of people got used to maybe Rich's.
It's funny because
the Ray Rich, but I really liked it. Like after going back and watching the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of Go Sports, I really liked his commentary.
I think if you say Mike Jeffries was not good at commentary, you honestly don't know what good sports commentary is. He was a great kind of foil to Maddie. Maddie is very good play-by-play, dissecting, giving you what's going on in the field and breaking it down in a way that if you're even like, there's times I was just listening and I can understand what's going on because Maddie's very good at telling you the whole story. Mike was very good at giving you context information, about giving you storylines that are going on within the event, about giving you, like the color type information, that color commentary position, which I love Rich. I really don't have a bad thing to say about Rich Telfort. I just don't think he was great at that on Go Sports. He was, he'd sometimes have some good stories and make some funny jokes, but it would sometimes get away from the action on the field, where I think Mike did a very good job of, keeping in touch with what's going on the field. Kind of when there was, lulls and penalties that were being reviewed, they were able to have some stories and kind of keep the content flowing. Look, dude, it's a hard ass fucking job, and I mean, Maddie is so good at it, he makes it look easy. It's not. So I think Mike did a great job coming into the booth. I really enjoyed watching it. And same thing. I've heard people say that they didn't like it. I don't really see, yes, there was some criticism to be made, but I mean, dude, it's his first time up in the booth all weekend.
Yeah.
There's going to be stuff we can do better, of course.
No, you want to hear some serious fuck ups? Go to the semi-pro one. That one is crazy.
Oh my god, dude! So me and Lastro were talking about it, watching because we were watching back your guys' Texas Demolition game before we watched the semifinals and the finals at his house, and dude, they literally just mute their mic, so it'll be like, all right, and Sacramento GMG, they're gonna get the point. Awesome, okay, and next two teams coming out.
Oh shit! No. Damn.
I
And
do
then the
remember it would be
breakout
dead
would
silence
go,
for a
and then the
long time.
breakout would go, and then you'd hear, sorry about that. Sorry, I had my headset off, guys. All right, we're into the breakout here. It's a 4-on-5 situation.
Right,
and it's
and,
like, dude, what the fuck did we just do for the last minute and a half?
Yeah, let me just say, the main commentator guy, I love that guy. I forget his name. I'm so bad with names. But I've been
Respect to
a
him being
commentator
out
on there
there.
before.
And I want to say that. Respect him being out there. You gotta fill the airway though, man. Like, you can't just turn off your mic in between points. Like, you gotta at least say something or have something going on.
I will say I was gonna go on there and commentate Sunday, but the team was like, all right, hold on, a little too close to our matches. And I was like, yo, dude, I'll get that scouting report for us, after we clap these guys, and then we almost get, smacked.
It's funny because I hear pros talking about that all the time. You want the best spot to watch pro games? It's from the tower that Matty sits in. Like, it's literally the only elevated place where you can watch, the pro paintball matches. So yeah, if you get invited up there, fuck it, go for it.
Absolutely, and I think it's a great tool, at least for me, to break down the game, because sure, the angles just don't do it that right on the live stream because they don't have moving cameras. They have set still cameras.
I will say, you guys, Go Sports stepped up their game this last event.
For sure.
They didn't have the drone camera, and the reason being, they literally couldn't. That is federal Class B airspace that they are in by the Tampa Stadium.
Oh.
They're not getting a license. Like the FFA, you are not able to fly drones in that area. So that's why, unfortunately, they couldn't have that for this event, which I love when they have the over-the-head shot. I think it gives so much more information. But one of the things that they did is they helped give a couple more angles on the Dorito side, not just down the tape. They actually had a couple good spots where, okay, during Fitz games, you were able to see Xavi actually battling home and then working his way forward down the Doritos.
100%. And they even did that on the Lone Wolf field, right, where there was a Dorito cam, and they actually went to it regularly often when there was action going down over there. And that's something you don't see very often is, usually it'll be like the snake side coverage and then maybe a Dorito cam. It'll just show, the snake side coverage, but there's a move going down on the Dorito side, and you can just see like an ant running across your screen.
Yeah. Well, and it just makes sense too, because you got to get that information from the Dorito side to the snake side. And that means either wireless cameras or running long as fuck wires, and it's just more time and money and effort, and that's all it comes down to usually.
Yeah.
They really did step up their game at this past event for sure.
Yeah, the semi, it was looking better, other than I think the commentary could have been better on the semi-pro field.
Absolutely, 100%.
Go Sports as a whole, I think their coverage looked really good of this event. I think the mini-map was very helpful, one of those little things, cool. Just always having it there. And it's funny because before they used it, I never thought about how helpful that is. But one of, esports we always talk about on this show, whenever I watch Call of Duty esports, you have to look at the fucking map because it is a clusterfuck of shit happening. So you have to be able to oh, okay, they're kind of, all right, they're spread, I see what's going on now.
You can see the angles that they're covering.
Exactly, and when you saw that on the I think HK sponsored it, so hey, shout out HK Army. The HK sponsored mini-map, that it was really cool to see that. One thing they took away, though, which I wish they would have used that in addition, was the telestrator. So being able to show the lanes and being able to show where people are. They kind of went from that to the mini-map. The other thing, too, is they usually use the drone shot for the telestrator because it's a wide, big shot. So they also didn't have that. So I kind of understand, there was technical limitations. But yeah, no, I think Go Sports did really a good job.
Had no joke, little Call of Duty little blips on the map to show up the 5-on-5 breakout and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure they had little.
No. Yeah. That's what I was saying. So you could see where the players were, but you couldn't see which way they were looking or any of that information, which would be hard to show. I'm not necessarily saying that's a bad thing. Maybe that's
especially on a
something
mini map,
in the future.
It's a mini.
Yeah,
map.
It's meant to just kind of show oh, you can look at that. Oh, it's a 32 right now. Okay, I see.
Yeah, so for a mini map, that was great for sure.
Yeah. So, and also something that helps out Maddie and Mike in the booth a lot because they get blocked out. When they have a guy, the two towers in the middle, they can't see the Dorito 50. So now it's easier for them to be oh, okay, that guy didn't walk out from there. He's still on the mini map.
Absolutely, and shout out to Go Sports and all the staff over there because I remember watching that whole the All That Matters doc. They were talking about all the people that set up and all the people behind the scenes, and that stuff is takes weeks to set up.
Well, I was going to mention it with the semi-pro side too, but every time a camera is switched to, there is a person who is actively making that decision. So when you think about that on the pro side, people, they may complain, oh, that move wasn't shown, or oh, they missed that. Well, yes, because a human being has to recognize that move's happening on the 4 limited camera angles they have, and then pick up the shot that is the best to show that move. And sometimes there's not an angle for it. But there is human error. I guess that's kind of the point I'm putting in there. Is someone's got to do it. It's not an automated AI system just yet.
Yes, and even saying that, Ryan, thank you for saying that, because there were even people after every point, if there was even a splatter on the lens, a guy would walk out, and then come back. Every single time there was any kind of splatter.
It was a rough field for that because like the NXL main camera had 3 or 4 different bounces come at it throughout the weekend, where it was like you're on the coverage and poof, okay, all right, cut to someone else's camera. I gotta wipe mine off.
Yeah, so the staff on that was on top of it, especially because that's, if you really are getting a live stream where a lot of people are kind of like watching and engaging with it, that's one thing where if you only have 4 cameras and one of them's not usable, bro, come on,
Yeah, find a better angle for it. I will also say too, one of the credits of Mike's leagues, both the WCC PPL or WC PPL and USXBL, is they always have live streams for every field,
multiple fields. Yep, that's so cool.
Quality wise, they may differ. Obviously, because you're setting up 4 different live streams for an event, like shit's gonna be hard to manage all that. But I like that they offer that. I think it's one of those things though that like, again, don't expect that from the NXL because it's a different product. At a WC PPL event, the top teams are D3, D2 teams. Like, there's some semi-pro players and some maybe even pro players who can play in the Premier Division, but it's not really like it's meant to highlight you guys. It's meant to be a place where it's like you guys are the top of the top here, whereas the NXL is meant to highlight the Pro Division and the Semi-Pro Division because those are the two kind of biggest teams or biggest competitors there.
The draws.
And let me tell you, that is a luxury because dude, I wish when I was in
what's Mike being a goat
where I could
burning money.
Yeah, exactly. I wish when I was D4, D3 where I could just watch all my team's matches.
Oh yeah, and even just valuable from like a film standpoint. Like that's one of the things I've been doing out for a local team out here is Austin Assault. They've hired me a couple times just to film their practices raw for them and just send them the raw footage. And there's been a couple times that like they've thought something's happened and then watched back the raw footage and been like, oh no, I totally let you die, homie, my bad. And like it really is a valuable tool to just see yourself playing from a third perspective.
Yeah, that's something I definitely miss, having little Ev on our team, because his dad had the drone up and recording all our practices and sending it out to us.
I was gonna say that's one of the most valuable parts of Victor Gamboa. He filmed every single practice point that Dynasty ever played, and later that night let them look at it and see it and break it down and go through the footage. Respect to them. They also, when Impact was there, they shared footage with Impact. They shared footage with DMG. Like, it wasn't meant to be like this is just for us. But, like, that definitely was probably something that helped them out a fair bit when they were just winning all those tournaments back to back to back, was good, high-quality practice footage.
100%. Yeah. I mean, that's one thing that I've noticed. I mean, I'm not doing anything near that extensive, but even like the mic'd up footage that I've kind of been like getting with and like sending out to the team, where it's like people are like, "Oh, dude, like I'm pretty sure I said this." It's like, no, like if we watch the whole like point back, you ended up not saying it at all.
Yeah,
like, dude, the fog of war gets your eyes hazy.
No, and that's like one of the things I've done with Assault, because with Oni too, I'm not a high-level paintball player. I've watched a lot of high-level paintball, and I can at least realize when a D5 player is making a mistake. So that's what I'll say. There's been a couple times where I've gone up to guys, and shout out Joel, I can't think of his last name right now, but plays on Austin Assault, really good dude down here in Austin. He killed like 2 guys off the Dorito side. Fucking good shit, dude. You did your job. Didn't call anything. His 2 homies on the snake side die. He gets on an island by himself and loses the point. So I go up to him at the end, and all I ask is, did you call your kills? And he just looks at me and is like, I didn't. And I was like, that's all you had to do. If you do that, you guys probably would have won the game. And so sometimes that's all it is you just got to ask people a question so they can kind of like, oh shit, okay, I didn't do that. Okay, yeah, or like they can put it together for themselves.
Definitely. When you get their gears turning, and the more often that their gears start turning, they're gonna do it more in the game. They're gonna be like, "Oh, okay, I just got 2 kills, just blew my side open. Let me take my time, hold my lane, and tell everybody behind me." Because that's one thing that Dave Baines engraved into my head is never die with information.
Yeah, don't die. That's
right. That is such a huge mistake that people like underestimate.
Look, if you go to trade out, obviously you trade the fuck out. So, don't come for me, D5 players. Excuse me. But, if you kill a guy, let your team know you kill a guy. If you see your homie walk off in front of you, maybe tell your other side that you guys are down a body now. Like, if you see something, say something. It's fucking rules of terrorism out here on the paintball field,
Oh,
boys.
dude, what I like to call it the neighborhood watch, dude. You see something, say something.
Yeah, there we go.
You see a guy walking down the street in a black hoodie, report it.
No,
You
we
say,
actually
you
don't
say if
report
you
those
see
guys.
a black guy walking down the street?
Whoa, with a hoodie, bro. It
Wait.
doesn't have to be black.
A black guy in a hoodie who Skittles
Why
in
does
a
the
Arizona
black
iced
guy in a
tea?
hoodie? Oh, okay, Trayvon, calm down.
All right. Get him.
Rest in peace. So yeah, fucking. I forgot what we were talking about there. But yeah, don't die with information. Fucking get game footage. Figure yourselves out. Boys, since we're talking about paintball, you guys want to talk about reffing? Because I know you guys had to ref this last weekend in Capital Edge Paintball Park for the Capital Edge Paintball League.
Yep, sure did.
It is Capital Edge Paintball League.
Yeah, the CEPL. That's
yeah,
what
CEPL.
those stand for.
I know. I'm just
like
used to saying Sepple with
WCPPL
CEPL.
stands for the
Sepples.
West Coast Premier Players League, I think. Yeah. And
Paintball
then
Players
West
League.
Coast Paintball Players League.
there's the TXBL, which is the Texas X-Ball League, and then there's like the MPPS or something. I have no clue what that one stands for.
Huh. I don't know what that one is either.
I don't fucking
It's
know.
like a Florida series. I
MXSPL.
see it a lot.
What's USXBL stand for?
The United States X-Ball League,
Okay, gotcha.
obviously, because this is America.
Hallelujah.
Okay.
God bless America.
I wish I had like
no
a
place
Hail to the
else.
King on the soundboard right now, like a dun 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 dun.
Hail to the king, baby.
Yeah, but dude, reffing.
Okay, dude.
Fun experience. Brando, you want to start off a little bit? Go ahead. How was your reffing weekend?
I love how I'm sorry. That's you do that so often, Hatch. Where you're like, yeah, let's get into a topic. I'm so excited to talk about it. Brandon, you want to start us off? It's like,
Dude, because if I don't
No,
do that, he's not saying anything. I gotta make sure.
Are you trying to
come
gather
on,
your
buddy.
thoughts? Are you trying to gather
Come
your
on,
thoughts?
buddy,
Is that what it
underhand
is?
he has the more change, and let him go last. I'll go first. It wasn't much, my chrono reffing skills came in again. No, it was cool. First event of the year.
Do you prefer chrono reffing, hiding back there in the corner?
I do. Yeah, I could be more social. I get to talk to more people. Yeah.
Valid.
Yeah, it is.
You're
yeah,
really an
I like being
extrovert,
on.
bro.
It's fun. It's fun though. It's fun to talk some shit or whatnot. And whenever my dad comes, he talks to me too.
Oh, it's nice seeing Papa Iron Man.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, having
it's
a
cool,
good
though.
relationship with your father.
Yeah.
Could not be.
Nope. Nah, it was cool. Not as nearly chaotic of a field as I thought it was going to be.
Did you guys use the same layout, or
Yeah,
Yeah,
same layout.
The divisionals were playing it way differently.
Yeah,
slower?
Way slower. In my
slower
opinion.
than I anticipated. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and I really thought they were just going to run all over the place.
Just a quick field, boys.
Yeah, it could be just like
There were
just
quick
like with
points,
us,
but there
not
were
as often as I
sometimes
thought.
where people would go into the snake and just go backwards. Like they'd go to like the snake 4 and then just for some reason crawl backwards. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
You're not really getting any better shots from your side of the
Not
snake,
from this snake,
right?
no.
Like,
No, it's like that little
I'm
snake
thinking
bunker,
it through as I'm
like
saying
that
it,
inside check
and-
on that snake tower. That's the big one.
Maybe if the home fills out to the Doritos, you might have a slightly better shot for like that D1.
I
but
mean, even then, just go to their side, crawl to their side, and shoot the goddamn home.
That's just
100%.
put pressure on them. Like, okay.
Did not happen
But-
as often as I wanted to see.
Like, I will say,
No.
there's probably a layout where there is a valid argument of, okay, a guy gets here, let's back it up a little bit. This is not
Definitely.
the layout, though.
No, because you can't see shit across
Let's be
field.
real. Were they even shooting like the bounce shot into the 50 or like anything like that?
I'm glad you said that. So there
like,
were
let's
some
be real,
teams
if
that
they're not
were, but
shooting that bounce
they weren't
shot-
shooting it long enough. They were not shooting it long enough to be effective.
Yeah,
Just be at the 50 then. No one's going to shoot you the
Right,
fuck
that's
out of
what I'm
there.
saying,
The only
right?
thing that'll
So-
shoot you out is either that bounce shot or if someone finally gets up to that wing and like starts to send it a little bit.
Like we do. There would be times, even in practice, where I would like me and Brando would be on the Dorito side, he'd be in the Dorito 2, I go in the Dorito 1, and as soon as someone tells me 50 snake, boom, I'm dumping 3 pods on that bitch until that guy is done. Until we figure out like, all right, he's coming onto our side, crawling underneath the bounce shot, or he's playing the outside so far to where he's, easily snapped out. He's living behind his gun on the wire.
Yeah, because to live through that shot, you have to play essentially the outside edge of that bunker, and then your snake guy can just have a nice, come out wide real quick and eat him up, and then come back in.
Exactly, that little juice box on the snake side on that, like the outer set. Oh man, how many times did you see where people would sneak into that from that little baby Dorito corner and then just snap that guy out? You would
the baby Dorito snake corner.
Yeah,
that's technically what it is. It's the baby Dorito snake corner.
Yep.
Sponsored by Monster.
More accurate. But, oh man, I thought that it was... Okay, I will say there was a lot of tomfoolery in the middle. A lot of people, like, crawling around.
What are we doing, guys?
I was seeing a lot where people would, like, go to the first, like, stand-up
and then,
wedge, and then
crawl to try and move up.
Hit the deck and then crawl. I saw one where, dude, I don't know how this guy was in like a 3-on-1 for probably 2 minutes, just like crawling back and forth between that little snake area, and they thought they were two alive.
Oh my god, that is when I hate watching divisional paintball. Is when I watch a team with either 3 or 4 bodies versus 1 body, and they can't figure it out. Oh my god,
dude,
it absolutely pains me to watch,
crawling
guys.
around in the middle, just over and over again.
Let's just go kill him. Like, goddamn, let's use our communication skills.
At that point, I sacrificed my life for Pakistan, bro. Let me go get him.
Wait, hold up. What the fuck? Why Pakistan?
I love Pakistan.
Yeah.
He loves Pakistan.
Yep.
Why not America? Why can't you just clack off for good old US of A?
Hey, I salute you, US. Thank you, baby. My home.
I don't know if that answered the question, but all right. So it sounds like reffing went okay for you guys. No mass homicide incidences. No terrorist attacks.
But I got a promotion. Papa Cedar was not there, so I was the head ref.
Cedar's cut. He's off the team.
Cedar's not cut. He did find someone to relieve him.
Nah, but if you miss one day of reffing, you're cut. That's kind of the go-to rule. So.
Unless you get a replacement, luckily.
Unless you get a replacement.
So it sounds like Cedar's above the law. All right, love to hear it. Rules don't apply to everyone equally at the Sacramento DMG camp.
Absolutely not.
Okay, all right. Well, you're letting too much to go there.
But so I was the head ref, and let me tell you, I was a great head ref. Let me just say, there were times where fuckery was going down, where a guy gets a major, right, stopping the time, then the other team doesn't hear the buzzer, so they just start running down, shooting at everybody that they see.
Wait, like major under 60?
Like major, then all the bodies got pulled, and they had to start down. Right?
So they're just shooting refs?
They're just shooting anything that fucking moves, and then they're like, so then the guy in the Doritos like, oh shit. Okay, so he starts playing again. So I'm like, whoa.
That's not how that works, bud.
We throw a major, right? But then they're like, okay, but they got a major too. And I'm like, okay, hold on, chill out. Time stop. That major didn't even count. That guy's just being stupid.
Wait. They got a major. They shot dead bodies? What? That's not a major. That's not.
Right. So so the team on the right, they got a major. Time stops. Right, and then so the other team doesn't hear it.
So the team on the left keeps going
because they don't hear it, right? And then the ref throws a major because he's like, okay, whoa, what's going on? Like overshooting, right? And I'm like, whoa, chill out. Okay, hold on. That major time is completely stopped, right? So that major doesn't even count, right?
What was the second major? What was the second major? That's what I'm asking.
Because apparently that guy was running down and it was like for overshooting or he had a hit on him. That I didn't see.
If he had a hit, then that's a major. But if he's not hit, there's no.
But it wouldn't even matter. It wouldn't even matter just because the time stopped. The first major time already stopped. Points over.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I'm agreeing.
Right, and then then the other guys are like yelling at me that it's like whoa, this is freaking bullshit, blah blah. And I'm like, whoa, dude, chill, bro. Right.
I think for me, the point I'm trying to make, I'm so tired of D5 and D4 and D3 players saying everything is a goddamn major fucking penalty. It's not. Okay? Not everything is a goddamn fucking major. Let's read the fucking rule book.
Oh my god, dude, let me tell you.
Some stuff's a gross major, some stuff's a minor. There's differences to this shit.
For sure. And they were like somewhere.
How many times at Seapool have you guys heard, that's a fucking major? Literally, that sentence.
Dude, so often.
It's
and I'm
a
just
lot.
Like, chill out, buddy. Get out, trade. Trade.
Literally, you were
I'm not even
pointing
hit.
at each other. There was no
Get
spin
out.
or anything.
Right, and there was one where there's like a 13-second point. They run down quick. Guy gets shot. They run through, but he doesn't shoot anybody. Right, and he just gets fucking torched. And the guy,
You're allowed to do that.
the other team's coach is like, "How the fuck are you guys not throwing majors?" I'm like, then Dave Baines comes behind. Dave Baines is right behind me in the net. Right.
Thank you,
And
Bainesy.
He goes, "Good shit, Hatch. That guy didn't do anything. Good call." And and he's like, "Which way was that tower guy looking?" I'm like, "He was looking Dorito side." And he's like, "Okay, so he can't even shoot him. Like,
So he
physically can't even
yeah.
see him."
Dude.
And it was just really, dude. There were some where
I love when Dave
guy-
stands up for you guys.
Absolutely, Dave
He
had my back.
shuts
a
people the
ton this
fuck
weekend.
up. Not
Without
a
a
lot
doubt,
of people
Dave-
want to talk back to Dave Baines.
Dave had my back a ton this weekend. It was actually awesome. Where guy pulls up, shoots. He's shooting quick, like over 10.5 balls per second. And I'm like,
And we all know instantly.
exactly.
Seen
Right?
it
You
in
don't need
past
to be.
sequels. The second a stream is shot, all the refs and like media
Heads
were all just
turn.
like, "Did you guys hear that
Like
shit?"
I immediately walkie and I am like, "Yo, guy with
Yup.
the blue gun, shooting fast. Listen for it, right?" Then he gets in. Oh, this is so fucking funny. He's like running down the field. I can hear it shooting fast, and then all of a sudden, I radio and I'm like, "Yo, Connor, give me the chrono," right? And he
Minute
comes
one?
over. What's
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, shout out Connor. Going
Yeah,
out
so
reffing.
he was my chrono ref on field too. So shout out, did a great job that day.
Hell yeah.
Except for this one play.
Oh no, buddy.
This is funny, dude.
I jinxed him.
I'm like, Connor, bring me the chrono. I think this guy I need evidence that this guy's shooting fast, right? He comes over, he goes to pull the chrono underneath the barrel while he's shooting over the 50 snake. Like, trips, fumbles. He's like this, bro. Like, oh shit. Like, fumbling between his hands. No joke, dude. And it does like a front flip, hits the ground. In my mind, I hear the Lego pieces from Lego Star Wars. Breaks apart. Dude, battery pack. Batteries everywhere. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Right? So then, at this point,
His agility roll was literally a nat one. It was like, it was
Literally.
the worst possible way that could have gone.
right? So then the guy's teammates run down, push the buzzer, right? And I'm like, okay, whoa, major, right? Because I can hear it, right? I don't even need a chrono that it's over 10.
Yeah,
right?
that's when
And
you just
so-
pull up a gun shooting 10-5, you shoot a stream, and then you pull up theirs, and you're like, those aren't the same.
Right.
Like,
And then so one of the chronos that we were using was like one of those like rinky-dink ones, where it doesn't do exact like 10.1, 10.2, 10.3%.
It's like that white one where you hold on top of the barrel with the one red
oh
button.
yeah, it'll just give you the, yeah.
right?
It's not a
And so
virtue
they were-
clock.
Right, and they were
Yeah.
shooting over that,
Unironically,
and they're
the
like, "Oh,
best
look,
product
see,
Virtue
it's
ever made."
10. It's 10 balls per second." And I'm like, "Hold on." And Connor's trying to fix the fucking chrono, and then I'm like, "All right, we gotta get the games rolling, right?" So we get the games rolling. Dave comes over. They are complaining to Dave that I threw a major on a kid for no reason, right? And Dave comes over. He's like, "All right, Hatch, tell me the situation." And I'm like, "Dave, guy shooting quick. You know me. I know it for a fact." And they give Dave like a thing with like maybe 20% of a loader to where they shoot it really quick, but it wasn't enough to get it over 10. So he goes, "Give me a pod." They give him a pod, shoots 11.9 over the chrono.
Yep.
All those guys, no joke, that were bitching at me like this is, I want to contest. I want to contest.
I'm
And
playing
not
under
even,
protest.
and I'm not even, Brando, I'm not even going to tell you the name, but I know you know who it is, right? You'll know when I describe it later.
Please type in
Okay.
chat. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. We'll type it in
Yeah.
chat.
we
We'll
do
type
have
it in
that
chat.
ability.
Damn. 11.
Here we go.
Yeah, because
Boom.
like Bainsy's gonna get a gun rocking. He knows how to do that.
Right? And so he immediately shoots it over the chrono. He's like 11.9, right? Oh, hold on.
Yeah. We need more
We're gonna have
context.
we're both like, I don't know who that is.
Oh. Okay.
You
okay.
know, okay, yeah, you
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
he is yelling at me through the net, like, "This is bullshit. You are a bad ref." And I'm like, "Whoa, chill, relax." Right? And then Dave Baines comes over, shoots that thing 11.9. All those guys, no joke, are like this. Dead quiet, didn't say a single word to me after that match.
God,
The
I know
entire
you
rest didn't
can't
say a
hatch
single
because
word.
you got to be professional, but that's one of those moments where you just love to be like, "Who the fuck's talking now? Suck my fucking dick!
man.
I knew it was faster." Like you just let them have it, you know.
You know, sometimes the sins of my unhumbleness really are tearing on. They are jamming on my heartstrings like Elvis Presley, and it takes everything in my being to not say something. Right, but oh man, it was just an overall great weekend of reffing. You know, being the head ref, I'll never be as good as Cedar, but I will say I did feel like I did my job for sure. You know, not very many complaints.
Yeah.
According
Hey,
to the owners.
And every time I looked over, you guys were just sitting down, not doing anything. So
Deadass, dude, I was always ahead of
Field
schedule.
two. Field 2 does
No,
nothing.
I was
so.
always ahead of schedule. We're like, damn.
Always
8
ahead of
o'clock.
schedule. I.e., we had 10 teams playing, so
yeah,
No joke.
we were doing 3-man. It's constant
we
points
took their
running.
X-ball
It's
matches.
quick.
We took their X-ball matches, and they were taking so long.
That happens a
their
lot.
Their teams were still playing, where we're like, damn, their teams aren't even done with their match, and they have to wait and come play their match right at.
I'm looking. I'm like, I get on their radio because we have like different channels for the fields. I
Ooh,
see them
very
sitting down. I change back to field 2, and I go, oh, it must be nice sitting down again on field 2. Fucking lazy ass motherfuckers. I quickly change back before they could talk. But
I would would respond. I'm pissed that you changed. You wouldn't hear my last word.
No, you.
I do respect that. You got to get in, get your message through, and then not let them have a chance to talk back.
Yeah, no.
It's
At the
death
last seconds
call
of like
in
a COD
COD,
lobby.
bro.
Yeah,
it's
definitely
literally
the last
yeah.
second of a COD lobby for sure. But
Everyone, dude, wait, you just brought back memories for me because that was the strat back in the day when it would split lobbies up like at the end. It would literally, or like, you know, if you were trying to dodge right before the next game starts, you'd wait till the countdown goes and literally 5, 4, 3, you're a garbage human. I hope you fucking die. Leave. And then you just hope they'd never see you ever again.
I still do that.
All right.
You know,
I've grown up, but Hatch hasn't. It's cool.
No, I do it. I do it in the last second of Valorant when my teammates are fucking ass.
Like last round? You just make sure you're the last one living, and then you just stay alive for 2 minutes, verbally berating them.
It's like
no,
say
you're
we win the game.
With me now,
we
buddy.
win the game, and then at the bottom of our team, it's like a 2-18 insta-lock Jet, and I'm like, Jet, your ass. Boom, game ends.
It's always the 2-18 too. Who's
it's
talking
always,
the most
it's
shit?
always the insta-lock Jets, bro. It's not it for me.
Bro, you're not 10s. Chill the fuck out.
Nope. But yeah. Anyway, back to reffing. We're gonna get off of it. Real quick.
I mean, we got through most of reffing. You guys got through most of
Great.
your stories. Is there anything else, Brando?
One more. I haven't heard anything about us being biased or anything, but I will say Michelle played, and I ended up throwing a flag that was the nail in their coffin for their team this weekend. Not on her, she wasn't playing, but it was on their team. Because hey, you cheat, you get in a flag. Just saying.
Even if
Amen,
you're
brother.
sleeping in the same bed as Brando, does not matter.
Damn
You're
straight.
getting a fucking flag.
Hey, yeah, you wipe a goddamn him, I'm throwing a goddamn red, and I'm gonna see the consequences later that night. But whatever.
Yeah, so you got beat, right?
Murph, yeah.
And that's why she hits you in the torso, where the bruises don't show.
Yeah, I didn't know we owned a phone book, but we own a phone book. Good.
That was pretty good for that. Yep. There's like one yellow books from fucking 08 that's still sitting in there, just when it needs to be
hefty
pulled back up.
motherfucker. Yeah, Jesus.
But yeah. Anyway.
Well, she's upgraded from the sandals, so good to know. Brandon's moving forward in his Latina hell life that he's living. You married her. Good job, buddy. All right, boys. Well, let's keep it moving forward. I do want to talk about March Madness, but I'm going to wait till a little bit later because I know Hatch will zone out for that. So let's talk about the thing I think he will be the most excited for. I also think it's the thing that you know as well, because we were talking pre-show, and I think we were on similar brain paths, but we didn't want to give away the spoiler alert for each other. So last week, South by Southwest took place here in Austin. It's a very big media entertainment show. Movies are debuted there, stuff sold, and people come together and have meetings and such. I actually had a meeting with the fucking 2 executives from Spotify's podcast division last week. They came out to our studio, and I was pulled into that on my 3rd day at work. That was fun. So had to seem really professional really quick. But the other thing that took place during South by Southwest, as I mentioned, movies are released and premieres are done, and there was one that was shown that has been getting a lot of buzz, and everybody is talking about it. Have you guys heard of the name Age of Disclosure?
No, I have not.
No. Okay, this is gonna be fun then. So, what we're gonna do, because
it's called Age of Disclosure.
We could probably play the trailer in the show, but I don't want to play like a 3-minute audio trailer and everything during the audio podcast. So, I'm gonna have you guys go watch it right now. Look up the trailer, Age of Disclosure, on YouTube. I'm gonna pause the podcast right here. I'm gonna grab a time code, and then we're gonna come back right after you guys have finished it, and we're gonna get your thoughts on it. All right? You guys ready for this?
Yep.
All right, and we'll be back in 3, 2, 1.
All right, hold on. I'm skipping my shit. All right, so official trailer, Age of Disclosure, 1.8.
Yeah, here. I guess I'll throw it up and watch it too.
All right. 2 minutes and 47 seconds.
Let me make sure. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, dude, bro, there's a new lean beef patty video, bro. How can I not?
Tatch, we're watching the trailer. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Jingle, jingle, jingle.
Hey, all I'm saying is I watch the videos because they're very informative.
Fuck yeah, I bet you do. All right, guys, let's go so I don't have to cut out too much of the pod.
All right,
3, 2,
1, play. Fatty to the aliens. Damn, clean energy. Liberals will be all on that.
All right, boys, there it is, the Age of Disclosure trailer. I recommend everyone, if you are just listening to the pod, go out, watch it for yourself. Makes you ask yourself some questions. So, boys, you just watched it. First thoughts, what's going through your heads right now?
We're not alone. No, I've seen some clips of this. I didn't know it was gonna be something released officially. I thought there was like maybe past interviews or something, but seeing that it's going to be an actual documentary, that's exciting. I love this shit.
There's
aliens
sitting U.S. senators in that documentary. Marco Rubio's in that trailer. Yeah.
Yeah. It's people. It's actual like.
People know what the fuck they're talking about. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, they have access to information. I hope somehow they could get hands on some never before seen footage as well. That would be cool.
Some like more hard evidence. I mean, a lot of it was released a couple years, was like a year or so ago, right before the 2024 election. They released all that like UFO footage and stuff. I think they called it, unmanned aerial phenomenon or something like that. They had a different name for it, but guys, we're not alone. UFOs are here.
I've seen The Fourth Kind. I've known we're not alone. That movie freaked me out.
It's funny because you bring up an interesting point there. A theory that I've heard about before is that for years, our government's been working with media companies to make things like Alien, which is showing off the bad aliens versus like, something where like E.T. Like maybe there are ETs out there and they're cool fuckers and they like us. They're helping us out. So that's why, like, okay, cool. So now if we ever saw one, like, we already have seen an ET and we kind of, we get the vibe. It's a theory. I don't know how.
I hope we don't see a xenomorph.
How true it is, but yeah, if xenomorphs are real, we're all fucked.
Dude,
so it's just a matter of time. But yeah, I at least I've heard of that theory before. We're using things like the Fourth Kind to be like, these are the bad aliens. These ones are not good. Whereas, like, other versions are kind.
Like, what was that one movie? It was an alien movie. I think it was called Paul, where it was
yeah,
the little gray,
yeah. They just got them
also,
high all the time and shit, right? Isn't that,
and also Roger from American Dad.
Yeah, they look kind of similar.
Not all aliens are bad.
Yeah, Roger seems like a chill little alien.
I agree. He seems like
he's
fucks a lot of things
German,
up,
which is kind of weird.
But...
I don't like that part.
You think of the fish?
The fish is German. What's his accent? What's the alien's accent? Roger? What's
annoying?
American Dad's not a great TV show, if we're being honest. There's a lot better. Dad. South Park, fucking South Park. That's the best cartoon animated show ever. So just South Park. But yeah, boys. Anything else you guys think about when it comes to aliens and all that stuff? This is a very big topic, and you guys have given me 2 minutes of conversation.
No, I think a lot about aliens genuinely because I'm like, okay, I think back to that Halo 3 trailer where they're looking up at the sky and they're like, do you think there's anything else out there? And I'm like, damn, dude, there's got to be.
I thought that shit was real when I was a kid.
Dude, me too, right?
When I saw the museum, I was like, where can I go to that? Is that a thing? Can I go there?
There are so many questions where it's like, okay, first of all, those unmanned aircraft or like, okay, those aircraft that they showed in the trailer and everything of, they're fucking zooming. If there was a human in that and they just stopped on a dime like that,
yeah,
bro, they are getting crushed, splattered into 1,000 pieces.
By the laws of physics, you would need to be able to manipulate the gravity around you to then not be able to have G-forces hit you like that. So
exactly right. There has to be like
it's technology
an outer
we don't
shell
understand,
and an inner shell that like the inner shell is completely like unaffected by the laws of physics around it.
Well, but take away the shell thing from it, it doesn't matter because if that whole craft stops on a dime, that craft will experience G-forces unless it can literally manipulate gravity around it. And considering gravity is a physics constant on everywhere in our universe, that is the key to being literally gods, is being able to manipulate gravity.
That's what I'm kind of talking about with like the inner shell. The inner shell is like this phenomena of just something that defies the laws of physics in there. Whatever it is, you're gonna be fine in there.
I see what you're saying, but it's also kind of like, I think that's reductive because I don't think it is something as simple as like they just have a metal that is super strong and can withstand gravity.
How do you know?
I don't, but the way those things move, like the famous Tic Tac footage where you see it kind of fly and then go back into the water and then come back out really quick and all that stuff, like that literally, it's not that it just is a very like physically resistive metal or ship. It's that it literally is doing things that we don't know materials that would withstand those forces. Like even if it was fucking purely like titanium and the strongest metals we
but
have,
we
it
don't.
would be ripped
What if
the
it's
fuck
like
apart.
What if it's like a drone from another planet that, you know, how obviously how we sent the satellite fucking way out in space? What if they sent their thing and they have like a little remote control to like, and they're just observing?
No, it's 100% a theory.
And they're still they still may be on their way if that's plausible.
It could be that. I mean, there's also the theory that like we've made drones now ourselves, and we use them in very similar ways of being able to do things that humans themselves can't do. You know, you can make a quadcopter drone go through 20 G's of G-force. It can handle that. A human being your head will collapse inside of itself. Like you will start to kill. So
You're mush.
Yeah. There has to be some type of technology or something that is just outside of this world or something we've never even seen or heard of before.
What? I love listening to the Joe Rogan podcast when he has people on to talk about UFOs and stuff.
Are you talking about the guy? I can't think of his name right now.
Bob Lazar.
Bob Lazar, yeah.
That's one of my favorite podcasts.
He convinced me,
that's
bro.
one of my favorite podcasts. Like God damn it, Joe. Why didn't you just have him on the day after, once his migraine went away, so he could talk more? Jesus Christ.
Because I don't think it was a migraine. I think the CIA were trying to put an end to that conversation, Brando.
The chip in his head is going crazy.
So the thing with me with the Bob Lazar, and maybe I've talked about it on the show before, but my grandfather was a PhD physicist at the Cal Berkeley Laboratories, worked on numerous different things there. Actually had an opportunity at one point during his young careerhood to go into weapons development and all that stuff, and turned it down because he didn't want to be responsible for the death of millions of people. So fair enough, Grandpa. But one of the things that stood out to me with Bob Lazard's interview, he speaks the same exact way that my physicist grandfather does. He doesn't it's hard to describe if you don't have the personal story and connection to it, but it sounds like a man who has had that level of education he claims to have to be in those positions. Like the way he doesn't want to answer questions that he can't fully give a correct answer to, and people think that it's him dodging, but like my grandfather was the same way. He just wanted to give you the right information, and so he felt bad if he didn't know to give you like a half information or trying to explain this very complex topic to a 10-year-old. He was like, how do I make this make any sense to you, man?
He's smart enough to know that no, that's not my expertise. I'm not going to feed you this false information.
He's like, I don't know enough to speak on the topic.
Yeah, and on top of that, his story's been consistent as well ever since he broke it.
There hasn't been many witnesses in time that have kept a story consistent for more than 20 years. That's just not something that people do. You change bits
even with
and
pressure
facts
from the government.
Yeah, just because, and even innocently at times, but it's just you forget things, and little bits and things kind of go out the wayside. But it's been so rigidly the same story from him since that first TV, the Las Vegas TV special thing that was done on him in the mid 90s ish, all the way up to Joe's interview in the 2020s.
This really makes me think of obviously we're in the age of technology where anybody can film anything now. Imagine those stories like that you heard back in the 80s and stuff like that, where people saw aliens and UFOs, right? But obviously there was no real way to even capture it back then. You were just hearing word of mouth. I wonder how many of those stories actually could have been true.
Yes, but also counterpoint against that, everyone in their pocket today has a 4K capable camera. Why haven't we seen a mobile phone beautiful version of some of these shots? Remember in the mid 2000s when we were seeing constantly
the Las Vegas
on
lights
YouTube? The Las Vegas lights? I don't know what you're talking about.
Or LA lights. Shit.
Oh, you're talking about the New Jersey, when the New Jersey?
Let me get my point out because I have zero clue what you guys are talking about. I'm just making the point that what's the right way to say it? You completely killed my fucking train of thought there. God damn it.
Everyone has 4K cameras in their pockets.
Everyone has a 4K camera in your pocket. Why can't we have high quality footage of the same stuff that we were seeing constantly in the early 2000s of there's 3 lights in the sky, guys. What's going on over here?
Well, let me tell you. let me tell you. Well, it's because obviously the aliens know we have better technology, so they got to bring up their technology to hide better.
They probably have cloaking.
That would make
bro.
sense.
They probably have cloaking.
Cloaking.
Yeah, and they didn't back in the
Haven't
80s,
you
or
seen?
back in 06,
Haven't you
they
seen
didn't
Chicken
have
Little?
cloaking.
Haven't you seen
Oh,
Chicken
yeah.
Little?
True, my bad.
You know?
The sky is falling.
No, but like, and then when you look at any of the times that they've been picked up by military like systems, it's been on stuff that has like radar integrated into it or thermal vision integrated into it. Like, it's not just their naked eye that they're seeing these drones with, or these UAPs, or whatever the fuck they are. So yeah, I honestly believe that some of those things may have been true. I honestly believe, though, some of that was just government experimentation. I think they just took
That's
some of those
also
people,
very,
because that
very
was also
valid,
during
for
the
sure.
same amount of time when CIA was drugging people with LSD. If you went into a CIA field offices during the years of 1960 to 1968, you probably were dosed LSD. I'm not even shitting you. It was like they were giving it to people in their coffee. They were like putting it in water supplies at offices. It was
pranks.
insane.
Yeah.
Maybe
they'll
as
prank
pranks,
you.
maybe experimenting with it because they thought they could like brainwash people and do all this crazy stuff with LSD. Turns out, no, it just makes you fucking high and you see pretty colors for a while.
Seems like the CIA is some good friends right there.
No, well, when you look at it
Life
through the
of the
context
parties.
of being your buddy, that's great. But when you look through the context of they were trying to take over the world with it, it's not as great. So
Valid,
there is
valid.
that.
At that point, they're just giving you a high on their time. You know what I'm saying?
Again, I don't think you realize how bad. There's stories of them just kidnapping homeless men and just for months at a time dosing them with LSD to see what it would do to them and see if they could like make them into
Well,
sleeper agents and shit. It was.
I mean,
fucked
what
up.
else were the
insane.
homeless people going to do?
All right, you make a valid point there.
So
but still,
valid.
That is a human being, and maybe let's not just kidnap them and you know drug them for months on end with no consent. You know.
You know,
What if they're like,
Whatever.
oh, you know what?
Tomato,
when you survive,
tomato, you know.
When you survive, you get $200.
yeah, there you go. Free drugs. Free drugs. Come
Free
on.
drugs and $200. God damn it.
Yeah.
You guys would
crackhead
make
will
great
take that.
politicians, actually.
Any crackhead would take that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I know they would. It doesn't mean it's morally right. But so fucking talking about, yeah, I wanted to bring back to, there's that famous story in like the 70s, maybe late 60s of I think it's Benny Hill and his wife who were like they was like one of the first stories of like an abduction where
I
they were
think
like
I've heard
driving
about this
back to
one.
their house and then they saw like a bright light and then they woke up a couple days later and like people thought they went missing and all this shit. I really think a lot of those were just governmental kidnappings and experimentations that were going on in the 60s, because guys, there was some fucked up shit that the government was doing to us between the time periods of like 1950 to 1975, including probably up until today.
Man, imagine it's like they're just like driving in their car. It's like a cargo bob with like spotlights and just a giant magnet just picking them up. What if that was it?
Bro, maybe they made a big magnet and they're like, guys, we need to test if it works. Like, I wouldn't put it past the CIA.
Pick up the whole fucking car.
It's literally the Breaking Bad magnet where he's like, magnets, bitch. Like, it's the same
Oh,
thing. It
yeah.
could be. I don't know. I wouldn't put it past our government.
Do you think like you know, if our government was they were experimenting on people, on just regular citizens and stuff, do you think they're still doing it today, but are they more discreet about it? Is it, you know, what's
I think it's not done as much today just because it's a lot easier to prove things. You know, it was a lot harder to prove you got abducted by the, you know, government in the 70s when your phone wasn't tracking you and all that shit. But yeah, I mean, it's like, fuck, the amount of human trafficking and shit that's done through America. Like, I mean, it's hard to not think that there's some section of the government and, you know, whatever, put your tinfoil hat on,
There's a
that
whole
is at least
underworld to
not
it.
know about it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
The
shit that I
rabbit
don't like
hole
to think about
thickens.
because it gets very fucking scary. Dude, fucking, I watched a video on the Bohemian Grove the other day. Obviously,
yeah.
everyone's heard of this. It was from a different perspective, though. It was from the perspective that all of this is just a gay men's club and that they just like to have this weird ceremony in the woods.
Like Squid Games.
And actually, when you look at it through that Occam's razor lens, which just kind of means like the most, you know, likely a thing to happen is probably what's happening, it makes a lot of sense that it would probably was just some rich gay dudes in the 70s who wanted a place where they can go fuck each other. I honestly think that's probably what it was.
Now I really do need an invite. Okay.
Well, it's in Northern California, so you're really not that far away. It's in the Bay Area. But
All right. I was literally I was literally just talking to Brandon. I was like, dude, for our birthday, we should do like a huge urban exploring. Like a huge
go find the
urban
owl.
exploring thing.
Go find the owl, boys.
I'm down, Brando.
Just know that they have a lot of security on the property and that they will trespass you and that you can go to jail. So just know
Brando,
that.
We have
We're all
until
black.
then to get some sick ghillie suits.
And just start crawling.
It's the Bay
Yeah,
Area we're
inch
talking about.
by
I don't know if a
inch.
ghillie suit is the best idea down there.
No, they'd shoot us. They'd see us moving. They're like, "What the fuck? Take it
They're
out."
like green foliage. That
Oh,
doesn't exist
yeah,
here.
yeah.
They would.
All right, we
would
gotta
take
go
it out.
brown. We gotta go brown twigs. All right, brown twigs, dead leaves.
Come on, guys. This is
Ghillie suit.
first rule
Yeah,
of sniper
pine
school.
needles.
You build your ghillie for the environment that you're gonna be in. Come on. Did
Yeah,
you guys
we'll
watch
scout it
Making
out.
the Cut? Fucking from Discovery Channel in like
Yeah,
2010.
let me Google it. Let me Google the landscape.
Still remember Surviving
I-
the Cut? That was one of the best
Dude.
TV shows. They would take you into special operations, training programs, and you got to see elite scout sniper units going through training. Essentially, what you learn from that is half of military training is just making people stay up all night for 5 days in a
Yeah.
row.
Sleep deprivation.
That's all. Every single training program had a week where it was like, yeah, and then this is a baptism week where they don't go to sleep for the next 48 days.
You know,
and it's like,
I could have.
shit.
You know, I could have passed then in high school with all those playing video games, all that sleep deprivation,
Yeah.
dude.
This looks insane. Some of these pictures that I'm looking at, not even gonna lie. But
I
it is
remember-
pine needles for sure.
I remember when I was like 15, I was first started to deal with insomnia, and I was like, all right, it's 12. I should fucking go to bed. It's like, no, I can't go to
and
bed.
then
I'm in
when I
bed
was younger,
looking at the
I would
ceiling.
like look up creepy shit like this and creepy pastas, and then stay awake even longer.
Dude,
Like,
creepy
really
Oh, I
videos.
could
get
never
in my
do
head.
that. Yeah.
Oh,
Get a
dude.
Slenderman video, comes through your timeline.
Oh fuck!
Takes you back
shit's
to the good
insane.
old
Dude,
days.
these pictures are crazy.
What are you looking at?
This the Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian Grove.
Oh, Bohemian Grove, yeah. Have
Well,
you
I
not,
was
have
looking
you
at
not
the
heard of this
layout
before,
because
Hash?
I was just checking on. I have heard of it, but I was
trying to
I've
find
never really,
blueprints
seen
online?
This many. No, I'm not looking for blueprints. I was mostly looking for the environment to check out what ghillie suit I'm running.
Hey, what if we show up and you get the right ghillie suit, but I come in like an Arctic like?
Are you fucking serious? Wrong class. Change your class, bro. Change your class.
Oops, oh my bad.
Yeah.
Either way, you
Wrong
guys are
map,
fucked
buddy.
because it's California, so you legally can't carry firearms. So they're gonna just kill you guys. You will be the servants nailed to the Bohemian Grove owl next time they have a
Holy
ceremony.
shit. Oh my god.
So have fun with that. Good luck,
Yeah, I
guys. My boy Brando
That's-
is now a blood bag for the rich and famous.
Yeah, dude. Some of these photos.
Hallelujah.
Are
It'd be
post this image in the FTS
what's that?
chat.
Fuck, what's that?
You don't
movie?
need to, Hash. I know what it looks like.
Fuck, I don't.
What, Brando?
remember.
What are you talking about? Bohemian
I
Grove
was
stuff.
trying to think
Different
of a
stuff.
movie. Nah,
Different movie? Okay.
Doesn't matter. Cult shit.
Bad reference. It's all good. But yeah, so that's
reference.
age of disclosure, guys. When this comes out, I'm definitely going to be trying to watch it on whatever streaming service it's on, because it's going to be on one of them. And so it's very very excited to watch it.
We
It's
should all
a
watch
great
it
trailer.
together.
That
It
Yeah.
definitely pulls you in because my curiosity of obviously what the fuck.
Well, it's a very
they're
well done
even
trailer.
Gonna talk about.
Yeah.
Like, what are they gonna?
And they
talk
showed
about?
enough high profile people to be like, okay, these people actually know what the fuck they're talking about. This isn't
Yeah,
Alex Jones
absolutely.
just like, guys, they have aliens. Don't you know they have fucking aliens?
I'm at the point to where I'll even listen to that shit. Tell me more, bro. I have questions.
I will say,
Yeah.
Alex is so hard because he's been right. Alex
Pretty often, not gonna lie. Sometimes.
Alex Jones
Yeah,
in the
a broken
2000s.
clock is right twice a day.
I know, but Alex Jones in the 2000s was talking about this mystical island where all the world elite would go to and they would go and fuck kids. He was right. You know
He
what
was
I mean?
definitely right.
So it's hard to like, and he was wrong about Sandy Hook. So like, there's one that he's clearly wrong about.
Valid,
You know,
you know?
like pros and cons. But damn, the man has been right, and it's hard to
It's like maybe we should,
it's hard to get over that. You know.
let his leash be a little longer and maybe let him ask. Some
I don't know if we
questions,
should though.
I don't know.
You know, even as someone who thinks he should be like, he just says some wild shit at times. You know what I mean?
I agree, but I wonder if he knows what the aliens look like. Okay, do you guys remember? Maybe it was a couple years ago where I think Mexico came out with like
the fake aliens.
Oh.
Yeah, the
and they
fake
were like
alien,
little crusty,
the fake
little fuckers.
mummified alien that they made of paper mache.
Yeah, that is insane that passed. I remember, no joke. I even
No, it
remember
did pass. The
talking
whole
about
world
that
was
on
like, "Fucking fuck you,
this is
Mexico!"
bullshit.
Like, yeah,
And
fucking.
I remember. I'm pretty sure we even
Stop
talked
sending
about
us
this on
your
the
immigrants.
podcast. This was in the lifespan of FTS.
Yeah, no, this has been talked about on FTS
So,
for sure.
That is insane to think about, that those guys tried to let those little crusty fuckers pass. That is insane.
Again, you're making it sound like the world was like, yeah, those are aliens. We all were like, nah, like
was
fuck
not.
you.
I was like, wait a minute.
It convinced you, Hash.
I just had questions. I just had a lot of questions on what the fuck those were.
You're just the guy asking
Why are they not
questions. You're
being-
just that dude
why
now.
are they
You're
not
just,
being
I'm just asking
dissected?
questions, bro.
No, yeah, we definitely need to dissect them, see what's in there. You know,
Oh, it's more paper. All right.
It-
Wire.
Why can't we say
Wire
the
for
N-word?
the skeleton.
I don't know. I'm just asking
that's
questions.
the question.
It's-
What's in there? And if
it's-
there's more paper, boom, we know it's
Is
fake.
this?
More
Is
paper.
this-
Is it Dunder Mifflin?
Does it say B- on the back? Is this a fucking high school art project? Hold on. Like, it's not. Yeah, there wasn't much. There
Brandon,
wasn't much.
Brandon, that's what we call a reach in the biz, bro. You
No, it's probably no.
you fully
Okay, since
you extended all 5 feet of your arm span to get that one.
no, you know what it is? It's
Barely.
It's Mexico, so it's a pinata that's airbrushed brown that they just tried to pass off.
Guys, what
You
the
cannot tell
fuck
me
are we
otherwise
talking
now.
about right now? All right, I'm
cannot tell
taking
me
control.
otherwise now.
I'm taking the reins. Podcast reins. They're coming back in. We've talked about Mexican weird sock puppet paper mache aliens for way too long now. Let's keep it moving forward. I kind of want to go to this topic because it's pretty funny. Okay, so boys, huge fucking shout out to First Form, the supplement and energy and nutrition company. The company that I work for now, Tetherball Media Academy, they are sponsored by them. They have a sponsorship deal with them. First Form sent probably about $1,000 worth of products to the studio today. I shit you not. Level 1 protein bars, protein powder, energy drinks, supplements, vitamins, their liver detox. They sent it all. So part of my job today when I first got into the studio was organizing all of that, setting it up, making it look good, and then, putting the extra stuff in the overstock spots. While I was breaking down all the stuff, we have these boxes. They're called First Form Microfactors, but it's this little baggie that's got a whole bunch of daily vitamins in it, just a big multivitamin. It's got all your shit in there. And we had a box that had literally just one baggie left, and I was like, fuck it, I'll take them. That way I can get rid of that box, put a new one out, make it look all better. And so I grab it, take it. It's a lot of pills. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 pills. It's got your antioxidants, your fruit and veggies, your probiotics, your EFAs, your CoQ10s, and your multivitamins. All things that you need in a day. It's great. I have nothing bad to say about the product. Guys, have you ever taken a piss after you've taken a multivitamin?
Oh, no joke. Okay, there was a time where probably 30 days I took vitamin. Bro, that shit was...
Man, radioactive fucking yellow,
It's
my guy.
insane.
Holy fucking... It has surprised me all day, and it's been all day. I took these at maybe noon today. I peed before the podcast. It was bright fucking yellow, man. It is the most fluorescent piss color I've ever had. So I think that means that I'm vitamined up and I'm good to go. So shout out to First Form. Off the piss side of it, I did text Jonah about Jonah Jamrose, who does work at First Form, about them sending all that product and sending some cool photos of it. And he was all excited. Guys, try their peanut butter and jelly level 1 protein bar. Oh, that thing goes hard, bro. So fucking good.
That sounds really good, actually. I'm not a big protein bar guy, but that sounds really good.
Peanut butter and jelly protein bars. Very fucking good. Our boy Jonah is not giving us the good word because we should all be eating more of those. They're very tasty. I tried my first one today. But yeah, guys, so I just wanted to talk about that. Shout out First One. Appreciate you guys sending stuff for free over there. And yeah, vitamin piss is something else. Have not experienced that in a while.
Damn.
Yeah,
I remember.
I've not experienced it in a while either.
No, not First Form. I remember when several years ago, when I really started getting into working out, taking some vitamins and I
some lock and load.
Yeah, Dude, no, this
Yeah,
is before
man.
lock and load, dude.
It's a blue
This is
chew.
before lock and load. Hey, take that right before you start working out.
Oh yeah.
It'll make you very vascular.
Yeah, it will.
Okay,
but I
okay,
was-
Brandon.
I'm just saying.
I know way
took-
too much now. That's the problem. Is now I know that you've consumed Blue Chill and been rock hard at the gym. I don't like that. That is a picture I don't want in my head.
He's talking about his biceps being rock hard.
Yeah,
getting
my
that pump.
biceps. Come on, my
okay,
glutes.
okay,
Yeah.
buddy.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
just
I took.
Standing at the curl, just straight fucking out.
No, he's like this. Dude, he's doing a curl. He's taking a break. He sets it on.
Sets it down on- and that's how tortured it is. Because Blue
like-
Chew works that well. It
He
gets
sets,
you
he
that
sets
hard.
he sets the barbell on there. And he starts
doing
both hands
some
on
curls.
drinking some water, then picks it back up all right off it. Oh man, Brando, you are a king,
Damn.
bro. Holy shit! What gym you at?
I want
Yo,
to
man,
go.
damn.
I want
God
to see this in
damn.
person at this point.
Yeah, holy shit. I'm trying to be
But
an audience
when you were
member.
taking supplements back in the day, trying to get in shape.
Yeah, took some multivitamins and fish oil too, and
Oh god,
I didn't mind
I
mind
hate
it all.
fish oil, bro.
It kind
You
of
hate a
tastes
lot
funky,
of
but
things,
whatever.
Hatch. I don't trust your opinion on edible things.
Fish oil, bro.
Yeah, it's just fish oil.
Good for you, brother.
It's just fish oil. It's
No,
really
I'm
good for
talking
you.
about like the taste and like the feeling afterward. I'm like, like say if I like eat a meal and like I eat
I'm
my
a
breakfast.
fucking adult and I can deal with 20 seconds of displeasure so I get my vitamins and nutrients
I
in for the
can
day.
too. I just fucking hate that
You
taste.
can? No, I don't
Omega
think you
3s,
can.
man. You'll do. You know, if you really want the omega 3s, you'll take some. You'll take some. You'll deal with it. Even with the fishy burps, but I threw some in my mouth. All right, I threw some in. I was late for work. I didn't eat any breakfast, and I remember. This is when I realized like I have to fucking eat something when I take three goddamn big pills. And driving down the freeway and just like, I don't feel good. Just like pulling over on the side really quick, yakking. It's like, oh shit, I see all 3 pills. God damn.
Yeah.
Well, fuck. I guess I'm not taking pills anymore. And but I learned quickly.
I like how you make it sound like it's like steroids. No, you were taking vitamins. Like it wasn't like
Yeah,
you were
vitamins. No. Well, but I was like,
taking pills anymore. I can't be doing this methamphetamine anymore, man. It's not good for me.
no. That's when I just can't.
You started smoking fent. Good choice.
I did. Yep. Started microdosing. Shrimp. No, I wish. I don't
Could
know,
you
I don't know
imagine?
shrooms.
Sidebar. Could you imagine microdosing shrooms as a surgical technician?
He's like scalpel.
You're begging to
You're
make
like,
a mistake. Well, not even that, but just like you're trying to sew something up and it's moving, and you're just like, just out.
Damn. All of a sudden, you don't have a belly button anymore.
Patient's moving, sir.
Patient's moving.
No,
Why is this
patient's
room
gone
moving?
already.
It's like we were in a stationary building.
Patient's gone already. I'm dead.
It's like that's the lab monkey, sir. Why are you doing that to him? Don't do that.
Sorry about that.
It's not good.
Like, sir, your shift's been over for 3 hours.
I'm gonna steal this bit from softcore history, but one of my favorite bits about lab monkeys and like lab testing. Have you ever thought of the conversation between the guy who works on like lab monkeys all day and his wife at home that night? It's probably not a great one. She's like, "Where the fuck you been all day?" And he's like, "I don't know, just killing monkeys for experiments."
I
like,
think that's one of those things where you just kind of gotta like lie to her.
yeah, no, exactly. But she's always like, well, you're never, like, even when you're home, you're not at home. Meanwhile, you're just sitting there with a 1,000-yard stare because Bobo looked at you dead in the eyes before you had to pump an IV into him today. And you're just like, I want a
Caesar,
goddamn
home.
beer and to disassociate.
Yeah, let me tell you, like that's one of the ones where it's like you would tell your wife you work at the steel mill, and then you just go to the steel mill, then you go to the underground lab where they test on monkeys.
Hatch,
You know?
I don't think you live in the real world, man. That's
Well,
what
I don't know where the fuck they do monkey labs.
Yeah, and they do it, and actually, it's right underneath the steel mill. They made a little secret
what the fuck,
underground
no way.
lab.
That's insane, actually.
No, I feel like if you're working on lab rats, you can kind of disassociate more because it's not you essentially that
But
you're looking
a monkey's
at.
like a little less.
Yes, it's literally like, ha, ha.
But it's also like,
It's
but
Brandon,
also,
it's uppy.
I've seen monkeys rip the scalps off of people, so I'm also Not too worried about a monkey.
Yeah, but I'm pro monkey. All right. What do
I
those
like
people
monkeys.
do?
I like monkeys, but I've seen the other side of monkeys.
I still haven't
Chimp
been able
Crazy.
to watch Chimp Crazy yet. I haven't been able to watch
Yeah,
it because
bro.
HBO. I don't have an HBO account right now. But yeah, it's on the list for sure. I blame those people. What did they do to those chimps? Did they lock them up in a fucking basement for 20 years?
Okay, so I remember Michael Jackson had a chimp,
Yep.
Yeah.
Bubbles.
Yep.
Right, and he said
We all remember Bubbles.
Bubbles was his companion, but then he said once Bubbles turned 5, like you
Bubbles
just
was
could
no longer
not-
chill.
You no longer chill. That motherfucker had to be locked up at all times. Would bite motherfuckers' fingers off because I think at that point he's like at the consciousness level where he's like learning where he's at on the food chain.
Yeah, well, and as I know from my resident chimpanzee expert, Taylor Mercadurka, is that you can't keep them for that long because they will. I mean, they're gonna live longer than you. They're fucking. Most of them live 25, 30 years. It's crazy, but also like. They're gonna fucking grow, and like that little chimp that you have in a diaper for a couple years, that's great, that's cute, awesome, but then like it's gonna become a full grown thing and it's gonna want to kill you when it realizes
It's gonna realize
you're keeping
its
it
strength.
locked away.
Right, and then it's like, why is this thing that's weaker than me telling me what to do?
Yeah, it'll test you. It'll test you.
Right,
Like,
challenges for dominance.
This is always my thing with animals. Dude, animals are sick. I fucking love animals. I'm not gonna bring a squirrel in and try to raise it up. You know why? Because
Fuck no.
fucking it's a wild animal. The only wild animal I would even contemplate that with is a raccoon, because I swear to
Yes.
God, we are 40 years away from raccoons being domestic pets. It is happening closer and closer. The amount of Instagram pictures I see of like a 6-year-old girl holding up her pet raccoon is it's just like,
It's so
yeah, this is my life, man. She just drags me around all day, and it's like, damn, that's a chill ass fucking animal. So, yeah, raccoons are the shit. I'll take no raccoon slander.
I wonder what other animals that we are actually close to like domesticating.
I honestly feel like raccoons is the one that might happen in our generation.
That's definitely next. They're cute.
They're
They're
opening
big,
up to it.
They're fluffy. Yeah. I also like
What about
skunks.
possums? Okay.
When people
Loaded
with skunks,
hand grenade in your house, bro. Not
no.
having it.
No. You get the glands removed.
Yeah.
You get the glands removed.
You can't do that.
But seeing it like run around, it's like the cross
like
between
a
a
little
raccoon
poof
and a
ball.
cat.
So,
Yeah.
counterpoint, Brandon, because they also stink, unfortunately, but they're just as cute. Ferrets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ferrets
I
are
have
the
my own
shit,
theory
bro.
on. I have my own theory on ferrets. To be
I've heard.
honest.
That's right. Yes. yes.
Better not slander
What's your
ferrets.
theory?
My mother owned one.
One thing I've learned in my whole life growing up through school.
Well, they're illegal in California, so if someone
person
owns
who-
it in California, they're probably a bad person already.
No, dude, I remember this one kid. I'm not even. Fuck it, Cody Ello. That was his fucking name. Dude, he would bring his fucking ferret to school, bro, and that shit. He would hide it in his
Hey,
sleeve
hey, Hatch,
all day.
how about we don't start bullying your childhood bully victims again on the podcast by doxing their full fucking name, bro?
Whatever. Bleep
That
it.
one's not chill, man. Jesus
Bleep it, then.
Christ.
We'll bleep it. But
No, because I'm not going to fucking... God damn it. All right, what's the
no,
time code? 120-ish?
I remember, dude. So he would have his ferret at school with him in class, and he would have his sleeve. He would wear this huge green sweatshirt every day, and it would be like wizard sleeves, where he would connect his hands in, and the ferret would go between his sleeves, and the teacher would never knew.
We're literally... This is like... What we're seeing right here is what's called personal bias. Hatch, when he was a young and impressionable child, had a bad interaction with someone who owned a ferret, and so now he doesn't like ferrets moving forward the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Ferrets
That
are
was
cool. I
a
wouldn't own a
fucking
ferret.
dumbass person who shouldn't
I
have been
wouldn't own
bringing
a
his
ferret.
ferret to school. But ferrets are chill as fuck. And if you disagree
Yeah.
with me, go to Pirate Software's 24-hour live stream of his ferrets that he has in his home. They're the fucking cutest and best things ever. I'm sorry, they just are.
What turned me on to ferrets was literally Patrick. Oh my god.
You good, buddy?
Fuck. Yeah, I just completely botched his name. Neil Patrick Harris in Starship Troopers. Go bug mom, and it runs through all the tunnels and fucks with his mom. Like, dude, I wanted a ferret from then on.
You know NPH is the bad guy, right?
I know that theory.
That's why his
but
uniform looks like an SS officer.
Yep, I know the theory, but it's so.
I fucking choked
so
at the wrong time because
good.
I was trying to feel for you because you couldn't think the goddamn words. Now I'm fucking crying. Yeah, Starship Troopers, amazing movie. Anyone who hasn't
Love that
delved
movie.
into the awesome lore and backstory that there is that goes into that.
Shout out to Helldivers.
And it's hilarious
man.
because
Gets my
people
fill.
think it's a fucking democracy hell yeah movie. It's literally making fun of you for that. It literally
100%.
is meant
I'll do
to
my
be,
part. I'll do
yeah.
my part. You know,
Yeah.
like
No,
some of the
I-
best propaganda possible. You know, and I guess that's why I like Helldivers
Well, that's
so much.
so. But here's the thing with Helldivers, sorry, Starship Troopers. It literally is propaganda.
100%.
The movie you're watching literally is a piece of propaganda from the Empire within that universe. That's why it starts out as like a broadcast that is coming into you.
Come serve your
You also-
country. You know.
Yeah, well, and
Kill the bugs.
Why do you think everyone in it is a goddamn fucking model? Like literally, human or male and female alike. Everyone in that movie is goddamn attractive. Like that was done.
No,
on
I just thought
purpose.
that in that universe there were no ugly people in that universe.
But no,
You know, I
because
just thought
it's
the casting
literally
was
a
great.
propaganda piece. If you go back and watch German propaganda pieces during the war, they only used the best looking German citizens.
Yep. Hey, I mean,
Paul, I can't think. What's the director's name? Can you look it up for me, Brandon? The director of Starship
yep,
Troopers.
I feel like you still don't see very many ugly people on the big screen now. If they are, they're definitely drowned. They're definitely drowned out by the Brad Pitts.
Paul Verhoeven.
Yeah, Paul Verhoeven. Absolute creative, brilliant genius. People don't give him enough credit for Starship Troopers. But I disagree with that, Hatch. We're seeing more and more ugly people become stars nowadays.
I agree with that for sure because we're so accepting and
Yeah, but like Hatch, think of fucking 2004. If you weren't fucking 110 pounds with D cups, you were considered the most ugly thing on the world. So like we're coming to a place where it's okay. You're 125 and you've got some hips. You're still attractive.
you know, I think that there are too many ugly people on TV. You're absolutely right, Ryan. You're absolutely right.
Again, not what I was saying, but but valid.
But you know, okay. Starship Troopers. I thought that movie when I was younger was actually so scary because I was like, "Holy shit!" I thought this was real.
Well, yeah, the bugs are fucking. I mean, they're.
You know,
Yeah, I can get how that's scary.
Do you think that there are other planets where it's like that is, you know, the life? You think that's what they're going to talk about on that fucking? What was that movie called?
Age of Disclosure.
Age of Disclosure.
God, you can't remember anything.
I have a
Talked
tab
about
right
that
here.
20 minutes ago.
I have a tab right here. It was Age of something, but it started with a D. I just didn't know what it was.
Age of Disclosure.
Age of Disclosure.
You know,
think they'll talk
some
about the
type
bugs?
of life form, maybe some type of bugs, but
Yeah, but you know what's funny? If you watch that movie and look at all the information that's presented to you in that film, we are the ones who are going out there and just slaughtering bugs for no reason.
yeah,
They
Do you
never
really
came and
think-
attacked us.
you are.
Oh, we are the invaders on their planet.
I'm,
Yeah, 'cause
I'm
the-
blanking on the theory about the asteroid that.
Yeah, because they said the asteroid that, like, the whatever the aliens are, I can't think of their names right now. They sent that asteroid to hit us, and they like
Yep.
calculated Buenos Aires to a T. Okay, they're about 20 million light years away or some bullshit like that. Like, the amount of mathematical, like, genius you would have to get the exact right, like, line through orbit to hit something like that is fucking absurd.
Yeah.
So this
So
got
it
straight
was
to
just
the-
them using
You're
a false
telling me
flag.
some bugs that shoot big old light bulbs out of their ass just launch this,
and again,
this
that's
rock at us?
that's another direct reference to World War II when we sunk I forget the ship name, but literally it was the reason we got into
us
World
in.
War II as
Yep.
America,
I got you.
where one of our passenger ships going to Britain got sunk by a German U-boat.
Is that really the reference?
Yep.
Yes, no, that is
No
what they're
fucking way.
referencing. And so, but like, think about this: did that ship really get sunk by a German U-boat?
Come on.
Probably not. Or the time in Vietnam when we went into some bay, there was another, I forget, there was another thing in Vietnam too, where it's like we had a false flag that we kind of used to get into that war as well. And like throughout history, we've been doing this for a long ass time, guys.
Damn, dude.
This is this is like American playbook page number 4. Run a false flag operation.
Playbook number 4. That's quick. That's early on in the book.
Yeah, no, it's right behind like the tush push. Like we're going to it quick.
Hell yeah. Dude, man.
What a reference.
Now I just have like aliens on my mind, bro.
Yeah, I can tell. You guys are deep into it. All right, well, let's keep moving it forward, boys. Let's talk about some gaming stuff because there's been some cool announcements in that world. Optic Gaming had some roster changes for their Call of Duty team. And kind of a cool story with the roster change. Sadly, Kenny has, he's looked like dog shit this year. Man has not been playing to the level he was last year. So they decided, all right, man, we're going to bench you. We're going to bring in a new rifler to take up your position. They bring in a player who played for the New York Subliners last year, Caesar Skies. I don't know his last name off the top of my head.
His gamer tag is Skies.
Bueno, something like that. But yeah, his gamer tag Skies. That's what he goes by.
I love when people go by their gamer tags.
Yeah, it's cool culture. I will say though, one of the coolest things about this change, obviously just on paper, cool. Player coming in, a player getting dropped. Optic, to their credit, they went back and found Caesar's one of his first ever YouTube channels that he made montages on back in like early 2010s, like 2012, 2013, something like that.
NW2.
His original bio was that he's like, hey, I'm 11 years old, I'm making montages, like I hope you guys enjoy the content, I hope you like it. And then at the end it's this brief little thing that says it's not I'm gonna be, but it's like I really like I've always wanted to be in Optic Gaming for the last 2 years or something. Like it's all I have have ever wanted.
My dream.
Maybe one day or something like that. And so Optic made a great little video where Scump hands him that description in like text, and then he's like, well, you did it, man. And so he's that was kind of the announcement video for him being on Optic.
It's emotional as hell, dude.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Very cool moment, full circle. Really, it's kind of cool that esports were getting these like moments now where it's like you've had guys who were our age when we were seeing Scump and Nade and all of them light up the world, and we're like, shit, I want to do that. And now being able to kind of come in and be like, oh shit, I play for that org now. Like that's probably something that's really cool. I know a lot of paintball players probably feel that when they're coming up through the ranks and then they're now professional fighting against Dynasty, or Joe Barrett's whole story this offseason of being like, fuck, I've made it, I'm on the Dragon now, what the hell, like I watched these guys play when I was fucking 7.
And that's definitely one of those things where I was listening to a podcast with Joe Baird on it, and he was like, anybody who gets asked to play on Dynasty, you say yes. You would be the worst fucking friend ever if you were like, I don't think you should go to Dynasty. I think that would be a bad move for you to go to Dynasty.
Well, not even, I mean, you brought up like 2 points there. I see what you're saying. Yes, fuck that friend. That's a bad friend. If Dynasty gives you the call, you're going. But also, like, on the other side of it, like, you don't say no to that team. Like,
If you grew up watching paintball, you at some point at least looked
seen
up
Dynasty
to them
win an event.
Yes,
100%.
Like,
and you can't say that about almost any other team. Maybe Impact.
Yeah,
the Ironmen, but they don't really win too much.
Dude, that was the 90s, bro. Like players are gone. Like it's like the players who watched them in their peak were no. But the point I'm making is like the people who watch the Ironmen in their peak, they're retired from the game, or like they're coaches now. Like they're not playing themselves anymore.
If people watch Dynasty, they're still watching those players play. Mm-hmm. Like, it's the same. It's a couple of the same players still playing.
It was funny. I saw a couple people. They were talking. Apparently, there's rumors that Chris Lasoya is going to be at USXBL this weekend.
That's sick.
Cool. I'm gonna be honest. I don't care. Like,
I like Chris Lasoya.
The only 2 public interactions I've had with Chris Lasoya, he's been a complete dickhole to me, so I don't really have a great personal opinion of him. But I do recognize he was a very famous and great player of his time when he was playing paintball at a high level. I just also think he was kind of a dickhead doing that too. So like, I don't really like him personally or for his play style, so that's just my thing. But people still look up to that dude like he's insane, and like, oh my god, that's fucking Chris Lasoya. The last time he won an event was at least 15 to 16 years ago. Like, there's kids who can drive now. No, like, really.
You're right. But I think he's one of those players where obviously, he's obviously maxed out of the age where he's, competing at a professional level.
True, but you want to know something crazy? Greenspan, Frazier, and Rao, they're all about only 10 years younger than him. So, like, that's the thing. Like, I see why people, yes, Chris was great in his time. Brian, Alex, and Yosh are still fucking great today. Like, that's the difference with those guys. And that's why it's it is so much different if those 3 guys call you up and ask you to come play with them. You fucking say yes.
100%.
Yeah. There's the wealth of knowledge there that, and it. I mean, not just great, that, but as you're touching,
too. Like, if they're not assholes, like
and you see it a lot where people are like, okay, they get the call for the Dragon, they go, and then they're only there for like a year or 2, and then they leave, and they honestly use some of that knowledge against Dynasty probably, when they go to their other teams. Like, look at Chris Shear, he was only there for a year, now he went to Damage.
Yeah, I think that one's more so just Chris came over to play with Marcelo, and then Marcelo left, so he's kind of like, okay, I'll go find another team.
Is that right? Okay, I didn't know that.
I mean, I don't know that for sure. That's kind of the vibe I get looking from the outside in. And also, I don't blame Chris for that. He also was traveling cross country to practices and all that shit. Like, dude, that stuff, it starts to add up. It gets annoying, especially when you're a goddamn lawyer. Like, man's got a big full workload already during his
He's
week.
Probably clocking in hours on the plane.
I guarantee you. And you throw in the fact he had a kid literally, I think it was a year ago to like this week. Yeah, man. Like when you throw all that in, his decision makes a lot of sense. Trying to be more close to home, being able to spend time.
How long is that from where he's?
Well, he's in North Carolina, I think. So it'd still be like an hour or 2. It's like an hour.
It's incalculable, honestly.
All right, fuck you, Brandon. We don't have computers in front of us, but yeah, so like something like that makes a lot of sense. Going back to like the esports thing, if an org like Optic calls you up, you say yes. Like you don't say no to that. And yeah, so it's just there's teams like that in sports where if you get that opportunity, you take that opportunity. I mean, as much as I hate to say it, that's the Yankees. If you're playing baseball and those guys call you up, yeah, you're gonna go put the pinstripes
Legendary
on.
Franchise.
I fucking hate you, and I hate everything that team stands for. But all right, it is what it is.
Yeah, and the Yankees, I'd even say when Tom Brady was still playing, right? If you get a call from Bill Belichick,
during that
say
era.
Yes,
yeah.
You fucking say yes.
That's example. Well, I mean, shit. The Miami Heat when LeBron was like Dwayne and fucking Brosh, let's go make an all-star team.
God.
Like, yeah, I guarantee you, Chris Bosh was like, all right, I'm going to Miami for a couple of years. Like, I mean, I don't think he was gonna say no. So, yeah, it's you see it in sports happen a lot, but yeah, no, it was cool to see for Caesar. There is an event this weekend happening in Dallas, Texas, which I will be in for USXPL, not for CDL, which makes me sad. Shout out to all the media because he's actually going to be in Dallas too because he's going to the CDL event. So that'd be cool if I could be able to run into him. But yeah, hopefully there are 2 CDL events in Texas this year because Optics is hosting 2 of them. So hopefully the next one works out schedule wise. That'd be cool to go to. But yeah, it's on the bucket list for sure to go to a esports event.
Is the second one by chance Champs?
I think it is Champs. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, that would be the one to go to.
That would be hype. The other big esport event happening in Austin this year is Counter-Strike is hosting their World Finals here, which is insane. I've looked into tickets for it. Tickets are $800 for 2 days, and that's like in the top fucking bowl. Yes, like that. Wow. It's crazy. You want to sit on the floor? You're paying $1,200 for Saturday, Sunday tickets. It's ridiculous. Yeah. But there's a part of me that's like, I still want to make that possible. Not even the floor. I just want to be in the arena. Because if you've never watched an esport event live, the energy in that room is like Game 7 playoff energy. It is shit that is unmatched in traditional sports. It is.
The crowd interaction with the signs is also so amazing.
The signs is great, but I just mean like, every moment every person in that arena is sitting on the edge of their seat, and when someone gets that clutch kill, it is like a goddamn bomb goes off with the amount of energy that is just like
every op kill is getting amplified by double every time somebody gets an op kill.
But not even that. It's not because like yes, there's throwaway kills in rounds. It's more so like everyone there knows what they're watching, and it makes it better. It's like watching if you go to a UFC event, you're not going to get the best angle of the fight, but when someone gets knocked out cleanly, that whole, that energy of like that just like electricity. I don't have a better word for it because there isn't one. It's just infectious.
You feel it
It's
around
that
everyone else.
It's like that primalness of like seeing like gladiators fight. You know, it's like that. It's that inner.
No,
being, you know?
I mean yes, but no. Like
Yes.
it's just
It's
this.
that arena warfare. You know, you're seeing people compete on the main stage.
You're right, Hatch, but that's not at all what I was trying to say. It's
Right.
just something that can't be replicated in other sports, or at least you don't see it in other sports other than very special games like Game 7s, World Series finals type games.
Gladiators.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm going to talk about March Madness. So let's go into that. Obviously, another thing, Hatch, you never watched college basketball probably for a minute in your life. Brandon, it wouldn't surprise me if you watched a little bit of it because you're a cool guy who's interested in sports that's not just paintball. So I'm going to go into my bracket. I'm going to go through it. Look, I'm probably going to get a lot of these wrong. I just made a blind bracket this year. I've watched 0 minutes of college basketball up until the tournament. But I now work at a business place where they make content on sports, and so thus I've been thrusted into making a bracket and watching the whole entire March Madness tournament. So let's jump on into it, boys. Starting out in the East, we got number 1 seed Auburn playing against either Alabama State. Well, actually, Alabama State did win their play-in game. So Auburn versus Alabama State. I'm going to take Auburn in this game. Auburn's going to go pretty far in this tournament, I believe. Next up, Louisville Cardinals versus Creighton Blue Jays. I'm going to take the Creighton Blue Jays in this bracket. Wolverines versus the UC San Diego Tritons. Give me the Wolverines. Texas A&M Aggies versus the Yale Bulldogs. I'm going to take the Aggies. So they're going to be up against Wolverines for the second round games. Staying on with the first round games for the East, Ole Miss versus San Diego State or North Carolina. I don't know who won that game.
It's going on right now. I don't know
if they played yet. Yeah, okay, so that one's still being determined.
Ooh, damn. Yeah, UNC's up by almost 40.
Ooh, okay.
San
Diego State Aztecs. Y'all might not be in the tournament. I'm still going to take Ole Miss in that game. I don't really think North Carolina is that great of a team. I think they're just playing a pretty easy San Diego State right now. Iowa State Cyclones versus Lipscomb Bisons. Give me Iowa State. The Marquette Golden Eagles versus New Mexico Lobos. Give me Marquette. They've got maybe the best equipment manager in the game right now. I don't know if you've seen those reels going viral of him dancing and singing before the games, but it's hype. Very hype. Damn. It's going to get them through round 1. I don't know if it'll get them any further. Michigan State versus the Bryant Bulldogs. I don't even know where the fuck Bryant is, so give me Michigan State. Yeah. Let's go second round for the East bracket. Auburn Tigers versus Creighton Blue Jays. I'm just going to take the Auburn Tigers in that. Michigan Wolverines, Texas A&M Aggies. I'm going to keep moving the Wolverines forward. The Ole Miss Rebels versus Iowa State Cyclones. I'm taking Iowa State to win this game. Iowa State's pretty damn good college basketball team. I've seen a couple of their highlights this year. They've been looking pretty good. And then Marquette Golden Eagles versus Michigan State Spartans. You know what? Fuck it. They're dancing equipment manager. They're going to get them into the Sweet 16.
Damn.
They're moving on. I took them in this bracket.
Spartans?
Fuck it.
Are we not Spartans? We are.
Michigan might win this one, but fuck it. I'm going for the meme with Marquette, all right? And sometimes that's how March Madness works out. So that gets us down to our Elite 8 game, which would be Auburn versus Iowa State. I'm going to just take Auburn to move out of the bracket. Obviously, it's the number 1 seed. Is it going to happen? No, probably not. But you'll see through the rest of my bracket. The number 1 seeds are the best looking teams when you're getting through this. Let's move over to the South. We got Duke playing American Eagles or Mount St. Helen Mountaineers. Has that game finished yet, Brandon?
I'm looking. Nope, that's tomorrow.
That one's tomorrow night. Okay. Yep. So I'm gonna take Duke in this game. Duke's gonna.
It's hard not to bet against Duke.
But also, even just name alone, they look very good this year. I can't think of the name of their player. Cooper Flag, something along those lines. Apparently he's been putting up great minutes for him. He's doing a lot of great things. Is slightly injured, but should be healthy as we get more into the tournament. So hopefully that looks good. My bracket would appreciate it. Next up, Mississippi State Bulldogs versus the Baylor Bears. Give me Baylor in this one. I could see them win the first round here over Mississippi State. Oregon Ducks versus the Liberty Flames. Ducks are going to get this done. Liberty has had some good teams in the past, but I don't think this is the one. Arizona State Wildcats versus the Akron Zips. Again, I don't fucking know what the zips are, so just give me the Wildcats. If I lose that, I don't even care. Up next, BYU Cougars versus the VCU Rams. I kind of like BYU in this tournament. They've been playing pretty decent basketball, so I'm going to take them in their first round game. I may even take them more moving on. We'll see, too. Wisconsin versus Montana. Montana's absolutely garbage, so give me Wisconsin. St. Mary's versus Vanderbilt. St. Mary's, I'm going to take them over Vanderbilt here. Got to root for the Northern California team. And St. Mary's always, they win a round or two. They don't necessarily go super deep, but they are always in the tournament, always present. Alabama versus Robert Morris Colonials. Give me the Tide. Roll Tide. Not even going to go into that. Round of 32 for the South bracket. Duke Blue Devils versus the Baylor Bears. I'm going to take Duke coming out of that one. Oregon Ducks versus the Arizona Wildcats. Give me the Ducks in that. That'll be a exciting matchup for the round of 16 there with the Duke Blue Devils versus Oregon Ducks. BYU versus Wisconsin. I'm gonna keep riding BYU. I think my Mormon boys will get me done into the Sweet 16. And then I have Alabama beating St. Mary's in the last round of 32 game for the South. And then the Elite Eight, Duke is beating the Oregon Ducks, and BYU is going to be losing to Alabama. And then coming out of there, I have Duke coming into the Final Four.
Damn.
Again, a number 1 seed. Probably not going to happen because it's March and everything gets fucked up. Moving down to the West bracket, we got the Florida Gators, who are my picks to win this tournament. That is who I'm going to be taking and riding all the way to the end. They look like a fucking damn good basketball team. But like I said, it's March. They're probably going to get bounced in the first fucking round, because that's just how this shit works at time. They're playing the Norfolk State Spartans to start their tournament, and I think they're going to get it done. Unfortunately, though, in their round of 32, they're going to be meeting the winner of UConn Huskies or Oklahoma Sooners. I think the Huskies are going to get that done, and I think we're going to see a powerhouse program dropping pretty quick out of this in the round of 32, because I think Florida is going to beat Kentucky or Connecticut in that game. Going back to the round of 64, Memphis Tigers versus Colorado State Rams. This is one of the upsets I'm going to call for the first round. It's a 5 seed versus 12 seed. I'm going to take the 12 seed Colorado State Rams moving forward. Next game, Maryland Terrapins versus the Grand Canyon Antelopes. Grand Canyon is not a real school. It is a private Christian university that has really been trying to market itself by getting into the tournament and has done so 2 years in a row. So congrats to them. But you're going to lose right away. Maryland's going to put you away. Mizzou, shout out our old Missouri Tigers. It's also funny, one of my coworkers went to Mizzou and is a huge fucking Missouri Tigers fan. And I'm also kind of now a Missouri Tigers fan, Brando, because I've got multiple people in my life that that root for them. So fuck it, I'm gonna take them to win versus the Drake Bulldogs first round of their tournament. Texas Tech's playing North Carolina Wilmington Seahawks. That's a long college name. Texas Tech's gonna get it done, so they're gonna be joining Missouri in the second round. Kansas Jayhawks versus Arkansas Razorbacks. I'll take the Jayhawks here. They're, perennially a good team in March. We'll see if they win their first round versus Arkansas here. And then, very good team, St. John's Red Storm versus Nebraska Omaha Mavericks. St. John's is moving on. I don't think this is going to be a hard game for them. They've been looking very good this year. So, moving to the round of 32 there. Florida Gators versus UConn. I've already told you guys I'm going to take the Gators. Colorado State versus Maryland Terrapins. I'm going to take Maryland coming out of that one. Now, on my bracket, I took Missouri to beat the Texas Tech Red Raiders. It's probably not going to happen, if we're being in all honesty, so I would take Texas Tech if you're out there. But I took Missouri, so that way if it happens, I can look at Bob and be like, I believe, let's go, man, woo! And then bottom of that bracket, Kansas Jayhawks versus St. John's Red Storm. St. John's going to get it done. Round of 16, we have Florida Gators versus Maryland Terrapins. We're going to take Florida Gators on that, as I've already said. Missouri Tigers versus St. John's. I think this is where Missouri's run is going to come to an end. I think St. John's puts them away. So in our Elite Eight game, we have Florida Gators versus St. John's. I'm going to take the Florida Gators, moving on to the Final Four out of the West bracket. And one last bracket, we got the Midwest side. Houston Cougars playing SYU Edwards Cougars. Just give me Houston. I don't even know what the fuck that other team is. Yeah. Gonzaga versus Georgia. The Zags haven't looked very good this year. It's the Zags, though. We got to give them at least one round win, so I think they're going to get it done over Georgia. Clemson Tigers versus McNeese State. Again, who the fuck is McNeese? Give me Clemson. Purdue Boilermakers versus the High Point Panthers. Purdue might have another cancer kid to pull out on this game, and if you don't get that reference that I'm referencing when they beat Ohio State a couple years ago, they literally wheeled a cancer kid out onto the field and then beat Ohio State in overtime. It's a great story. So I'm taking Purdue here. You never know. They might pull out the cancer kid buff. Illinois fighting Illini versus Texas Longhorns or Xavier Musketeers, whoever wins that playoff game or play-in game. I'm going to take the Illini over that. I would love to see Texas Longhorns move forward, but Illinois has looked pretty good this year, honestly. Kentucky versus Troy. Let's take Kentucky in that one. UCLA versus Utah State Aggies. This could be an upset, too. The Aggies are a lower-ranked team. I'm going to take UCLA, but they have not looked that great this year, so I don't have a lot of confidence in that pick. Tennessee Volunteers versus the Wofford Terriers.
What kind of fucking cartoon logo is that?
Yeah, I don't know either, Brandon. Give me Tennessee. Moving forward, round is 32. We have Houston Cougars versus Gonzaga. Cougars are moving forward in that one. Clemson Tigers versus the Purdue Boilermakers. I'm going to take Clemson. Illinois versus Kentucky. It's going to be a tough game either way. Yeah, give me Illinois. Fuck it. Let's take an underdog going through that one. It doesn't matter either way because I have Tennessee beating whoever they come into, so we'll see if we can get an upset bracket there. UCLA Bruins playing Tennessee. I have them moving forward into the Elite Eight to play Illinois fighting Illini, and Tennessee's going to win that, moving into the Final Four versus the winner of the Houston Cougars and Clemson Tigers, and I'm going to take Houston for that. So, that's the Elite Eight, and then moving on from there, I have Houston beating Tennessee in that Elite Eight game. So, for recap, my Final Four is looking to be Auburn, Florida, Duke, and Houston. Now, if you look at the board, that's every number one seed. Yeah, it's not going to happen. My bracket's going to be fucked. But when I'm looking at this, it's like, well, who's going to fucking beat them? I don't know, but someone is. That's why it's March Madness, okay? Because it's on paper they should win, but welcome to March. They're going to lose somewhere along the way. I just hope it's not too bad into the bracket and I don't get that fucked.
Okay.
There is madness in March.
So all right. So looking at this, right? You have all the number ones going. Do you have maybe it might be Mizzou because now you're a band. You're jumping on a bandwagon.
There's a couple upsets I've picked round one.
Yeah, some Cinderella stories, right?
There's a couple. BYU.
But round one? But I want not just round one, though. Like, who do you... man, I know it's tough.
So I have BYU beating Wisconsin. That's a 6 seed versus a 3 seed. That would be that'd be a cool one. I'm trying to look what else here on the list. The problem is, dude, the SEC was just so good at basketball this year. I don't know if you looked in. They literally finished their regular season at a dead 500 win-loss rate. Like, SEC teams playing SEC teams were dead even throughout the year.
Shit.
Yes.
Wow.
Like, it was just a very even and, like, parity-filled league. So it's really hard to, like, bet against SEC teams because it's like, well, on paper, they should have been in the most competitive league, getting the most competitive reps. They should be ready to, face some of these other lower divisional teams. Or lower kind of leagues, I guess.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
Wow, that's
a mind fuck.
Crazy.
It's gonna be broken. Yeah. It's not gonna be right. I know that going into this. This is March. If it is right, I may win money. I probably won't. I'm not even I've made this with not even expecting to ever look at it again. I just made it. It'll be on the thing. I'll update it or I'll check it after this weekend. It'll probably be all broken and over. And okay, that is what it is. You guys ever made a bracket?
Me personally, no.
No, not for March Madness.
I could have bet on that one, honestly. Brandon, you never have? You never thrown a bracket in? It's a lot of fun, just
no.
Throwing,
not
go on to X.
Madness.
X is doing a $100,000 prize pool for one for free on Twitter. I'm not even joking.
That's
awesome,
awesome,
it was something that they announced earlier. So you just got to go on, make a free bracket, and someone's gonna be winning money.
Damn, that's crazy. All right, I might have to do something.
And again, let's be
Now-
real. This is always how it happens too. It's always some random secretary who knows nothing about basketball who just picks the teams that have the best sounding names, and then it's perfect. Like that's how
Right.
the history of bracket challenges works. It's never who you think it's going to be.
Let's see. Best sounding name. I'm all right. My final four. From
Yeah,
the
pick
south.
one from each bracket.
From the south, I'm going
It better be
Iowa
Marquette.
State.
Okay.
I'm going
Iowa
Iowa
State's a
State.
3 seed. I don't know if that's really an underdog.
Hey. All right. From the west, I'm going. Ooh, give me Unc Wilmington.
Unk.
I mean, University of
UNC.
North Carolina at Wilmington
Yeah.
Seahawks.
No, Unc Wilmington.
Wilmington. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Unk.
And then from the east, give me. Give me. I'm gonna say St. Mary's, because anytime someone said St. Mary's, I always thought of the high school here in town. For some reason, my thought
You
was always
know, St. Mary's is in NorCal, right? It's in the Bay Area.
Yeah. But whenever they
I've
growing
been
up,
to their campus. Yeah, it's a tiny ass little Christian school. It's
but we have a St. Mary's high school here in town, and yeah, people.
No one is
talk
talking
their
about
basketball team right
Stockton
now.
St. Mary's high school basketball team.
Growing up, everyone was talking about it. For
Growing
me,
up, yeah.
in my mind.
Talking about Mater Day
local.
too, right?
And then
a
for
football
the
reference.
Midwest, for the Midwest, I'm choosing Illinois, the Illini, because that reminded me of I Fly Illini, and I salute you, my boy.
That's it? Yeah.
That's it.
Because of the officer who jerked off on Chatterbait, that's why you're picking them. I knew that's where it was going.
And now they're the winners. I'm picking Mr. I Fly Illini.
You're gonna
I
ride
got
with
you all
the
day.
Illinois Fighting
I am.
Illini.
Yep.
That's amazing. You know, his name was Illini because he went to Illinois, right? Like that was
Yeah,
why it was in there.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, for everyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, because this was a story that happened like 13 years ago on fucking YouTube, there was a commentator on YouTube Gaming who got found out going on Chatterbait and jerking off for people on there. He was also an officer in the military, got stripped of his officership. There was a whole thing. Shout out I Fly Illini. Cool dude.
Poor guy.
Yeah. Nice guy.
Some would say cool guy of
He
the
was
week.
a pilot.
God damn.
Yeah.
Some
Maybe
would
of
say.
Back then, but not now.
Some would say.
Some would say. Yeah.
Some would say he's a real sweet kid too. But yeah, so that's my March Madness bracket, boys. Brought you guys into a little bit of traditional modern day sports. I know you guys like using your firearms and shooting at each other people, but we use just simple balls and hoops and put the ball in the hoop to score the points.
Yeah, I like the curling shit. Where you like throw the fucking little
Again,
bowling
not a
ball
real
iron
sport,
out
Hatch.
there.
Again, not a real sport.
Sweet. Neither is
More of a
paintball,
game.
Bro. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
I just
it's
upset
not
so many
either.
people.
No, you're right. It's not either. It's an athletic
talking about,
hobby.
I run out to the Doritos sometimes.
I think it's funny because people are like, if we really break it down to it, by definition, yes, paintball is a sport.
If you do that,
But it
then
definitely is
technically,
one of
like,
those things that,
competitive
like,
breeding.
I mean, no, Hatch, because I'm taking by the definition of like, it's a physical activity where there's teams that compete against each other for one winner at the end. If you go by that definition, yes, paintball is definitely a sport.
Or is that technically a game?
No.
No, I don't think so. I don't even know the point I'm trying to make. It's just like, it's okay. Like, we don't fucking I don't know how to bring this point into fucking fruition right now because my brain is tired. So, fun fact, I found this out through fucking Scott Lastro, our fourth member of our broadcast studio, our boots on the ground
boy.
correspondent.
My savior.
Did you guys know that there is a Medal of Honor recipient that doesn't like Lastro, particularly for the fact that he plays paintball?
Well, now I don't fucking like him.
What? Yeah, who'll drop his name?
Yeah,
I will drop his name in the chat, obviously, because I'm not going to badmouth a Medal of Honor recipient on this podcast, because he's done shit we'll never do in our lives.
Yeah, it sounds like a fucking piece of shit to me.
Don't fucking say his name, boys. That's the last thing we need is smoke from a goddamn Medal of Honor recipient. All right. And actually, Brandon, you're going to know this guy. But that guy reached out to Lastro and was like giving him shit because he was playing paintball. And I don't like those people because fuck you. We're not trying to be you. We're not.
Wow. Now
that's literally why he was upset too, because he was like, "Oh, you think you're trying to like be us, you know, like doing what we do?" And it's like, no. This is a thing meant to be fun. Like it's
what
not.
What you do is badass. What I do is cool.
What? What? We're just gonna skirt over what I said. So, but yeah, man. So that was a fun fact I learned from Scott last Friday. He told me about that.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Fuck that motherfucker.
Again, I want to, not as crazy as these guys. I think personally he's kind of a douchebag for saying that. I do carry respect for the fucking shit that he had to do to earn a Medal of Honor.
Oh, I do too.
There's not a lot of dudes who are alive who have those things. So, like, I do want to put that out there. I got a little respect for you, sir, but fuck off. We're not trying to be the military, okay?
Yeah,
it's like I hate all these people who are like, goddamn, fucking spilling all of their rounds from their clip, brother. Goddamn, back in my day, I had a 20-round magazine, and I hit every goddamn fucking shot when those fucking gooks were coming from the forest from all around me, and the napalm was raining down. I didn't know which way God was gonna come to save us. And it's like, fuck you, man. I'm not trying to be that. I'm trying to say Whiskey the Tango and kill two off the left, all right? I'm not trying to talk about you at all.
Yeah. I'm not trying to use all of your cool codes. I'm trying to use my cool codes, you know?
Well, yeah, your cool codes are fucking like Operation Paperclip and Blue Beam and all that shit.
Sagandi!
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was talking about us recruiting the Nazis, but that's cool. We can keep moving forward. Do you guys know what Operation Paperclip is? God damn it!
I do. I know what it is.
I need some more history from you guys on this podcast. All right, we got to start mandating history learning for you guys. Okay.
Here we go. You want to know some?
What is Operation Paperclip? Yeah.
Well, Operation Paperclip is when they, they would forgive all the German scientists and make them over to U.S.
Not just scientists, rocket scientists in particular. They put us to the fucking moon, baby.
You want to hear some?
Absolutely.
You want to hear some real history that I actually got queued up right here, right now? Want to hear? So
no, but go.
So I don't know. Do you guys consider? What would you guys consider a capybara?
Capybara.
Cedar. Papa Cedar taught me this as well. So what would you classify that as?
Well, considering I don't really see capybaras on a daily basis, I consider it an animal that is kind of small but has like some good heft to it, and it's got 4 legs and it walks around non-bipedal. That's as much as I know about it, the capybara.
Valid. So I don't know if you guys knew this.
And it's brown.
But according to the Vatican, between the 16th and 18th centuries, they were announced as fish so that people in South America could eat them for Lent.
During Lent, yeah.
So I don't know if you guys... So capybara, fish.
So I didn't know that. I also don't really listen to anything the Vatican says after they made themselves the Vatican II. I think that was really when they, had a branding issue. Do you guys know that when they went away? Moment. No, they went away from Latin. They started, doing mass in English and Italian. I think it's all fucked. The Catholic Church, they lost me a long time ago. I think I was like 6 being touched. That's when they lost me.
That's when I got on board, honestly.
Brandon was the prayer boy. He's like, let's go.
I recently got on board when they found out that they, capybaras are fish. Now I'm on board.
Yeah, that's one of those facts that you read on like an Instagram reel, and then you don't really share to people.
Cedar told me actually, and I was like, and I put it in my notes.
Funnily enough,
you don't question Papa.
No, I don't. He's like, dude, did you know capybars are fish? I go, hold on. Let me put that in my notes.
Well, technically, just because a religious society says something is a fish does not mean by science it is now genius classified as a fish species. That is not how that works.
Yeah, but people brainwashed into the cult.
We stopped
will
listening to
believe it.
religion in the fucking 1700s, all right? Let's start being some real people with our brains on our heads, guys, all right? There's a separation of church and state for a reason.
The capybara fish, I believe it. They're in the water. They have webbed feet.
It's pointless trying to have a real conversation with you at times, Hatch, because you'll just go back to, well, capybara's a fish, so I don't know what you want, man.
Yeah, I believe it.
Some dude who talks to God told me that, so that's what I'm gonna
Capybaras,
believe.
beavers, muskrats are okay to eat on Fridays during Lent.
You know what's also okay to eat on Fridays during Lent?
What?
Anything you want.
I agree.
Because this isn't fucking 1700s England anymore where eating pig is going to make you sick and kill you.
Yeah, you know, I don't need capybara.
You guys, again, I've mentioned this so many times in the show, but I will bring it back up again because it is one of my favorite little fun facts from The Office, and it comes from one of their worst seasons towards the end. It's when Andy is talking about making lunch options for a vacation field trip type thing, and he goes, yeah, I also made a halal and a kosher option. You know, fun fact, they're the same. I love that because really,
you gotta be
No, but kosher is Judaism, right? And then halal is Islamicism or whatever. How would you pronounce that? What I find funny is they're the same because essentially it's the same. Like it was things that people realized. Yeah, if you eat pork in 1604, you're probably gonna die of fucking infectious diseases because we're not good at getting rid of those. So yeah, pork's sacred. No one eat pork. Like that's how those things came about. Like, does that make sense to you?
Yeah, no, it does. I mean, pigs are fucking filthy. Yeah, it completely makes sense.
Yeah, and it wasn't necessarily that like it was God telling us not to do that. No, it was some religion. It was some dude who was behind a book and was like, hey, if I told him not to eat pig, we might be able to stay alive longer.
That bad.
These people seem to eat pig and die.
Yeah, maybe we should tell them God said not to eat pig. You know, the Joseph Smith way, where you say God talks to you and then you write it down on tablets, but then you lose the tablets because you don't want people to be able to read the tablets.
Hey, you careful with that. They'll come after you.
I don't care. Come after me, Mormons, you fucking cult. Goddamn making 14-year-old girls go to temple and talk about how they gotta marry their person for the rest of their lives and they're so excited to be a wife. It's like, God, that's a 13-year-old girl. Let them be a goddamn child.
You're done, buddy. They're going to your house. They're gonna be like knocking on your door with their fucking.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. It's not Scientology I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Mormons. They won't do that. Yeah. And you know why?
Oh no,
because Trey Parker and Matt Stone are still alive.
I'm signing you up right now. They're coming to your door.
You guys don't even understand what I'm saying. If the book, no, Brandon, please stop with your joke. If Mormon people were actually violent, they would have killed the South Park creators at this point for the Book of Mormon show, which is the biggest piece of like making fun of them internationally in the world. And their reaction was set up tables outside and say, if you have questions, feel free to ask us. You know what? Honestly, I can respect them for that. Like, they didn't bomb theaters. They didn't fucking kill anyone. They were just like, all right, we're going to be here. You know, if you're wondering, we're here.
Yeah. I will say they are some of the nicest people I've ever met. They are really pleasant.
But they're not bad people. I got to give them that.
People are really nice.
There's a lot of people I went to high school with who went to temple before high school every day. And kind of weird people. But again, some of the nicest people on campus.
Yeah, there's a couple doctors I work with, and they're Mormon. Nicest doctors I've worked with. It is what it is.
It's because if they're mean to you, then they're not going to be able to go to their planet that they're going to live on in eternity with their family. Brandon, I'm not shitting you. That is a real belief they have.
Yeah.
Their vacation planet that they get to go to when they die. And the only people who get to be there are your family. And so that's why you have to have 40 different, cousins and siblings.
Sounds like it's like that one cult where it's like, they were like, if we all jump off
Heaven's Gate. Heaven's Gate.
We all jump off the cliff at the same time. They're going to get us. I love that shit.
Except that wasn't jumping off the cliff. Theirs was poisoning themselves because then
there's another one where it's like they all jump off the cliff. They were going to get like
that's the Night Marchers.
The Night Marchers?
That's the Night Marchers, yeah.
Damn, dude, they're like, hey, all the guys are like, hey, we're going to make you jump off the edge. They're like, fuck it, we're doing it anyway. You didn't catch us. Do you remember how I thought they were all pushed to the edge?
Push me to the edge. All my friends are dead.
My friends are dead. Wait, What a classic song. What a classic song now for our generation.
What a classic. Back in 2012, we were listening to XOXO Tour Life, or it was more like 2016. Either way, it works.
Sweet Summer 16. Shit was a good
Dude,
time.
Summer 16, yeah, bro. 2K16, y'all remember that?
Dude,
that shit was hype.
bro, that was the summer right out of high school, bro. That shit was awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
Had no care in the world.
Just... real life started, and it's never been the same since.
Then I went to college. Yucky.
Loser. I didn't.
Yeah, shit was ass. Not fun. Not fun at all. I'm just not a school guy, dude. It really was.
Yeah. Well, good for you, buddy. All right, boys. Well, we got to segue it to the end of the show. It is about that time. Because of anything you want to say? Anything at all? You want to bring anything up?
I had a question. Yeah, we can get to this.
Let's hear it.
Little gaming thing I came across, and it got me thinking. If
we're alone,
if you're alone, when you're alone, who do you know? If you could go back to any time, any point in playing games.
Okay, I was trying to end the pod. Now we're 30 minutes. Gonna still be here.
Yeah, dead ass.
What? Real quick.
Are you talking about? Are you saying like which game would I go back to in its prime?
No. The first time you played a game, if you could go back and experience that again, what game would it be?
Fuck.
The first time you played it.
There are so many.
Brandon, that is not a 5-minute end of the podcast type discussion.
No,
I'm gonna be honest, brother.
And the thing is, there's not one answer. Genuinely, dude, because like I remember the very first time playing through Red Dead 2. Bro, that shit changed my life, bro.
Like your first time playing it, not like all the way through. Like the first time you touched the game.
Yeah, you want to know my honest thoughts? My honest thoughts, I was like, because obviously I played Red Dead 1, right? I was like, dude, who the fuck is this Arthur guy? I don't want to play this motherfucker. I want to play this John Marston. You know what I'm saying? Fuck this Arthur guy. And then the more I'm playing through the game, I'm like, damn, I love Arthur.
I'm gonna be honest. I think you're alone in that thought. I fell in love with Arthur. Dude's a badass.
Well, I was so brainwashed because I was like, oh man, dude, John Marston, what a fucking
your
beast.
love for that franchise is definitely more than mine. Like I played Red Dead, 1. It was fun, enjoyed it, but I wasn't like, I gotta learn more about John. Like it wasn't a game where I was like, oh, I need to know the lore of what's going on and like all this. It never grabbed me that
mine
much.
Came from like my memories of like Red Dead Online with my friends, like way back in the day on like Red Dead 1. Just like just playing around with my friends. I think
you're the only person I know in real life who played Red Dead Online. Like, and that's not to be a joke or anything. It just wasn't a very popular game.
Well, obviously, I wouldn't. Not obviously, but obviously there was GTA that was out, and that was way more appealing. Driving
Red
around
Dead was before GTA. No, Red Dead was before GTA 5. The first original.
I'm not talking about GTA 5. I'm not talking about GTA 5. Like, even GTA 4 was out.
Oh, okay. I mean, but I wasn't playing GTA. Like,
I'm talking about like those two Rockstar games.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Okay, we were talking about two different things. Because I thought timeline wise you were talking about GTA 5 Online, and I was like, that's way later in time than Red Dead 1.
Sure.
But yeah, I think Ballad of Gay Tony was like the same time as like Red Dead coming out.
Ballad of Gay Tony was. I remember hella memories. Playing this shit for hours with my friends.
One of the best DLCs ever made. It's up there in that conversation.
For sure. Man, so good. I remember my friend being like, dude, you gotta get the Ballad of Gay Tony. Like, it just came out. And I was like, what?
Yeah, I mean, I've been sitting here trying to think of like a truly transcendent gaming experience. I guess the only thing really that like pops out at my mind is the first time I played COD 4 online. And I have a memory of it. I remember sitting down and playing it. My big brother was like, yo, check this out, dude. And like, yeah, like that probably was the most influential like gaming experience I've ever had.
Ooh, influential. Ah, man, I didn't even think about the oh, fuck. Damn, yeah.
I mean, maybe you could also throw in like first time I played Counter-Strike, because like that was the first time I saw like, competitive shooter from COD, but then like an actual tactical like, setup shooter on PC.
Yeah. Damn, influence. Yeah, it's like COD 4 was really influential.
If you want one, okay, so I have one that's happened pretty recently.
Let's hear it.
All right, so I don't know if you guys know the game Ghost of Tsushima, right?
Yeah.
So the very beginning of the game, you're like dope ass cutscene going in. Now all of a sudden it's like, okay, the Mongols are fucking arriving on shore, right? And this whole thing is like a cutscene. You're fucking riding through, and then you send out your one warrior to go duel their best warrior, right? And then like the guys go down. He's like, I'm here to duel you, and the guy's like just sipping his fucking ale, throws the alcohol on him, lights him on fire in a second. Now the guy's dead, in like, you know, and just like to the samurai, they were like, oh, these dishonorable motherfuckers. At that point, I was like, damn, these guys don't play by the rules.
You know what's funny to me? Like. So, fun fact about the Japanese, they also are dishonorable as fuck. If you go back, if you go back and look through the times of the samurai when the code of honor was supposed to be everything, there was people lying and stealing and stealing and fucking doing all that. Like it really is funny that Japan has this like thought up culture to be like very. Everything's about honor and not bringing shame to your family and all that stuff. At least that's what's made it to like Western culture. Whereas like if you look back in history, that shit's it's a fucking lie. Like they've been doing that shit since they first started being people.
I think it depends on like the way you grew up.
Do you know what Japan did during World War II?
Was it 731 or 735? One of those two.
There's literally a point in time called the Rape of Nanking. You know who did that?
I do know about that.
Japanese. That wasn't very
Hatch knows about that
honorable.
now.
I do know about that.
Yeah.
So let's learn some history here, ladies and gentlemen. But I do like even in traditional media today, it's like, oh yeah, they're very honorable. They're samurai. Oh yes, and it's like, no, that's not really. Kamikazes weren't fucking honorable.
That's crazy that they like convinced them that they were. They're like, dude, you just got to go die for the emperor.
That's not honorable.
Right? How crazy is that? Like, that sounds...
Literally, think about it this way. A kamikaze is no different than a suicide bomber.
No different at all, period. And I remember...
I guess the only difference is one has a capability to fight before the end, but you're doing the same action in my head. Like, you're just taking yourself out to kill others.
Another movie reference. I remember Godzilla -1, right? The whole thing, it's obviously set up in Japan, and like in the beginning... The guy is supposed to go be a kamikaze pilot, but he chickens out and comes back to the island, right? Now Godzilla's making shit up, right? He gets back home. Everybody around him, all of his neighbors are like, whoa, you're a kamikaze pilot. Why the fuck are you here? Like, you're so dishonorable. I don't even want to see you, right? People don't even want to be living around this guy because that was so dishonorable to be a kamikaze pilot and survive.
Which is hilarious, too, because it's like, again, the action you're doing really is not inherently an honorable action, but you've brainwashed millions of people to believe it is.
It just makes the whole concept. It's like, what is honor? It's all different depending on the culture.
I mean, not really though. Like, there's kind of a common human language of what being an honorable person is. And I think that's why honorable is very, like, honoring your word. Like, that's a lot of it is just, like, not being a two-faced liar. Like, I think that's pretty easy for most people to pick up on.
Valid for sure. But, I feel like there are definitely some places that are fucking insane,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, as you said, they were brainwashed into thinking that was honorable.
Propaganda is a very strong force.
For sure.
Like, people don't understand how good it is. Like, it works. That's why it is a thing.
For sure. And in the game Ghost of Tsushima, it's kind of like setting up where it's like, okay, you're gonna have to go against your code, to survive.
Honest question, Hatch.
What's up, buddy?
Does most of your history knowledge come from video games?
No. But some of it definitely does.
But because I was putting pieces together there, like the periods of time I feel like the most about are the American Wild West and like Japanese stuff. Like I feel like when we get the history, that's where you kind of thrive. And I'm honestly wondering if a lot of that's from.
I think that's where it like piques my interest is when it was in a video game, and then I do my own independent research out of that.
Okay.
Like. Okay, I remember the Wild Wild West. I remember my history teacher in high school. He was about that shit. He came up. He dressed up.
Like I watched Back to the Future 3.
No. Oh, dude, I actually
Wild West.
I'm trying to think of like the very first like thing that like, okay, if you really want me to think about it, the really first thing that got me on cowboy shit, Woody from Toy Story.
Yeah.
That was like the first cowboy where I was like, damn, that is fucking cool. Just like the aesthetic of it.
Have you ever seen Meat Canyon's Toy Story video?
The one where he's like, they talk to him and he ends up getting cancer.
Stop! Fuck! God damn it! Don't spoil it for Brandon. He hasn't seen it clearly. We're watching in the post show. 100%.
Jesus.
You asked me. You can't just ask me that and expect me to not answer.
No. I asked, have you seen it? And then you started giving details. All you needed
Well,
to say was yes or no.
I didn't know if there's multiple ones because I know that guy's been fucking making bangers for years and years.
He has, but he only does like one per property usually. He doesn't go back to that same property a lot of the time.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's fine. We'll watch that in the post show. Brandon, you'll see what we're talking about here shortly.
All right. Yeah.
I'm finishing this podcast because I tried to wrap it up 15 minutes ago, and then Brandon brought up fucking
great question, Brando. Great
in-depth
question. Honestly, dude, we'll ask me that again on the next episode.
Yeah, I love that for you guys. It's 11 o'clock for me already, and we still have to record a post show, and I have to go to work in the morning. So let's go to the post show because I'm 2 hours ahead of you guys. Before we do that, though, we do have some things we got to do that we do every week. Brandon, we need a cool guy of the week.
Yep, my cool guy is. I have to give it credit because I can't really find someone else to give this credit to. It's gonna be Chief Michael W. Banks. All right, this guy is in charge of the U.S. Border Patrol, putting out these bangers of videos.
Did he drop the El Salvador one? Holy
that one,
shit!
dude,
It's a Michael Bay movie, man. What the fuck?
Dude,
can we watch this in the post show too? Now I'm really curious.
Yeah, we can watch this in the post show. I'll put both these down.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I got a couple videos.
Now I'm excited.
Brandon, pull these up that would be helpful for that.
Yeah,
but,
I got you. Yeah, it's shout out.
Yeah, keep
shout out Chief Banks. It's just this media team's putting out fucking good videos on. I've seen on TikTok.
What happens when you illegally come into our country?
I love TikTok.
Just getting deported, and they're choosing really good songs to represent it, and it's not like a sad.
No. Not songs. They're using cinematic score to narrate this shit. Like it is.
I'm very curious.
Beautiful. Like
and
objectively.
Yes, like the shots are fucking good. It's
like some Elden Ring music.
They threw the drone in the sky, man. This is high production quality.
Good.
We'll get to it. All right. So Chief Michael W. Banks, you're the cool guy of the week for this awesome work, which we will enjoy more of in the post show, so Hatch can watch it with us. Hatch, we need a code word of the week.
Boom, move over to the other way.
You didn't turn your light on this week, so that also doesn't help.
Don't cheat, because we were reffing. If you cheat, I'm gonna catch you. You ain't getting away with it, so don't cheat.
But also, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Just keep that in mind out there, kids.
Facts. But if you try it, I'm gonna catch you.
But also, don't cheat. But if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. We don't give confusing information here on this podcast. All right, guys. Well, that's the cool guy of the week. That's the code guy of the week, or code word of the week. We also got to make sure we remind all of you to give a rating to the show wherever you're listening to us at: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast. Please take a couple seconds to drop a rating for us. It's completely free for you to do. It supports the podcast, helps us up in the algorithm, and I think that's a perfectly fair trade. Just spends 20 seconds of your time to make us look better. You can also subscribe on all of those platforms I just mentioned. You're just going to get a notification when the next show is live and ready to go, which is every Tuesday if you haven't caught on at this point. We also got the Patreon. You heard us talking about it, the Patreon post show. That happens. It's only behind the paywall. Extra about 30 to 45 minutes of content every week for our Patreon members, and we usually let it go a little more because we know it's only the homies back there. Go check out patreon.com/Mafia_Productions. Get access to the Patreon. You also get bonus content, free ad-free episodes of the show, early access to the show. There's a lot of great reasons to get signed up today. And then last but not least, I got to remind you guys of our beautiful sponsors. So real quick, Liquid IV. Head over there. Promo code Mafia_Moffitt at liquidiv.com. We also got NECTR Energy. NECTR.energy is their website. NECTR.energy. Promo code MafiaProductions over there. Just all one word, Mafia Productions, for buy two, get one free. And then weltsclothing.com. Head over to weltsclothing.com. Use promo code FTS. Save yourself some money at checkout. All right, boys. Well, that is going to do it for the main show tonight. Yeah, let's just go ahead and get on out of here. I'm wearing our own merch, by the way. I'm wearing Stabbers Don't Get Stabbed, so fuck you. You're gay.
Damn, the one Uno reverse card possible.
I had it in my pocket, literally ready to go, so fuck you, Hatch. Boys, let's get out of this show. Let's get on into the post show. For Brandon, Brando, Baird, for Stephen Hatch, my name is Ryan Mafia Moffitt. This has been From the Sidelines, episode 138. Hatch, do that thing you do.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.